My name is Quinn. I use any and all pronouns, and today, whenever we wind up airing this and whenever you wind up watching it, we are playing Girl by Moonlight, a special edition, which I have been calling Clown by Moonlight. That is what this game is written as in my notes. The reason why we are playing Clowns by Moonlight is because our entire cast is all playing clowns, and we are playing in Clown World. So it kind of goes without saying, but I'm going to just start us off with our content warning for today. The first one is clowns. There are going to be clowns in this game. If you're not a big fan of clowns, super understandable. Go watch anything else. Not this. There will be, our players will be playing as clowns that are intending to make people laugh and bring people joy, but there will also be scary clowns in this as well. So, any and all kinds of clowns, you can expect them here. That's pretty much the biggest content warning that I can expect. But there will also be things that pop up that will deal with themes of identity, possibly with themes of confusion or disorientation. So, at any point in time, if anything pops up that is not something you prefer to see, feel free to go and again, check out any other game anywhere else. Especially, again, if you're not a fan of clowns. With that out of the way, and with that said, I'm going to go ahead and have our players all go around, introduce themselves, and introduce their clown that they're going to be playing today.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Sloan, who also uses they, them pronouns. Now, Sloan is actually two people in one in the Harmony playbook. So we'll get to who the two original people are who play Sloan later. But yeah, I'm excited to play them for you.
Hi, I'm Sophia Olivia Scott. My pronouns are she, we, and tonight I will be playing Vanessa Van Sayer. Their Van's pronouns are Del, Delf, Delves. I forgot. It's been a little bit. Del is the time traveler, and mostly just an oracle. We'll find out more about that soon.
Hi everybody, I am Lise, she, they pronouns. Tonight I'm going to be playing Lulu, also known as Trix the Maximus. Lulu goes by she, her pronouns, and Trix is they, them. And I'm going to be playing the Enigma tonight.
And it is my turn. Hey everyone, my name is Glyza, pronouns are Sha. And I do a lot of things on the internet, mostly in the TTRPG scene. Today, I will be playing Zoran. And Zoran is, what is the name of the playbook that I chose? It is like...
Unlikely Hero?
I did not write it. Unlikely Hero, okay.
Unlikely Hero, yeah.
Perfect. It's the one thing that's missing on my character sheet, which is weird. Zoran is the unlikely hero. He is a serious man doing serious clown things. And I'm very excited to bring Zoran, whose name literally means happiness, to your screens. He's a happy boy though, but very serious man. And also gay. Always. Really.
Always. Yeah, of course. Which, by the way, happy Pride, everyone. I don't know what time you're watching this, but we are recording this on June 1st. So this is all of us getting to celebrate Pride and tell a very fun clown gay story, because of course it will be. And in theory, this is also airing during our Pride Month event. If it's not, oops. This is intended to air.
Be gay every day anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, we can't be gay. June is over. So whenever this is airing, it's airing as part of our Pride Month event. It's our Pride Month event every month, except not from a charity game perspective, because we would all die, as in me and Sophia. But hopefully this is airing sometime during June and July as part of our Pride Month event, which I named because our Pride Month event specifically is a charity event. So if this is airing during that and we do have our charity open, we will have hopefully a link to our Tiltify somewhere that you can access it, because this is a pre-recorded game. We don't have donation incentives or like ways that you can impact the game. It'd be really funny if we did, but we don't. I haven't figured out how to make time travel work yet, except for Van. So no donation incentives for this, but you should absolutely still check out our Tiltify. We are raising money for the Trans-Latin Coalition throughout the month of June and into July. So yeah, with that all out of the way, welcome to our show. Enjoy our clown chaos that I'm sure is about to unfold. And to start off into our clown chaos, we're going to go around one more time in the same order that we just went in, but instead of introducing just yourself and your character, you're going to introduce your character by telling me a little bit about what your character looks like, and by telling me a little bit about your character's very first interaction with your clown god, and what that looked like, and how that went, and also introduce us to your character's specific clown god. So again, we're going to go in the same order that we went in for our introductions, which means, Lisa, could you go ahead and tell us about Sloan? Tell us about who they are, what they look like, and what their clown god interaction was like.
Sloan is about 5'2", about 192 pounds. Their signature makeup is like a kind of half smile, half frown, with big purple and green painted brows, one of each color. They wear a Harlequin style suit with matching green and purple shades with their makeup, a high frizzy ponytail with an undercut, and one eye is green and the other eye is brown. Because Sloan is made up of Letty Martinez and Flynn Sawyer, two best friends who have been around each other since childhood, and they have a very in-depth love for each other that's completely platonic. But they are like soulmates, basically. And their first introduction was to meet Glitter Bugaboo, their patron clown god. And they were terrified. I mean, even a clown god you would be terrified to meet. Letty was in kind of the brave one, doing most of the talking, while Flynn half hid behind little short Letty. And they realized that their love could connect them in a way that they never thought possible before. And Glitter Bugaboo basically opened the door, and they were able to become one in Sloan, who is very, very caring, very optimistic, and is always trying to find like balance in things.
All right, moving on. Sophia, tell us about Van and about Del's first encounter with Del's clown god.
Yeah, Van is, I think, like 5'5", very average in that everyday sort of wear is always black and white colors, but just like hoodie pants, does have a nose ring and usually has a chain, or was it nose ring, or I think it was lip ring. I'm thinking about it, I think it's lip ring, with a chain that runs up to one of their ear, or one of Del's ear piercings. When Van first met Del's god, it was back in Del's home in 2075 on Lost Earth, sneaking through an abandoned office building looking for supplies. Del had a hot tip on that. Broke into an office, and instead of supplies found timepiece, the very Janus coded god of time and possibly chaos, sitting in the office, and kind of unlocked a different door for Dell and tossed Dell into the past and into another world.
Right. I think that moves us on to Lulu.
So Lulu, the way I would describe Lulu is that they're pretty kind of somewhat short. They're like 4'5", 120 pounds ish, and then they have these like sort of like puffy space bun sort of hairstyle, and it's just like kind of like very very red hair. And then their clown makeup, one side has like a lightning bolt painted in like blue. They have a base coat of white, and then there's like sparkle glitters of like purples and whatnot on their face. In general, Lulu comes from a background of rodeo clowns. Essentially, she's part of like a family troupe essentially, and they generally go by Trixie, the troublemaker, in their clown act with the family. But generally, they kind of seem like, despite being a performer all throughout, they're kind of like to their own. They don't feel like enough. So it's just one of those nights when they're kind of distraught. They're talking with their family, but they don't feel like they're enough. And also, they didn't really do super well in one of their midterms. But that's beside the point. Then they get an encounter. A voice comes to her head, and it's the voice of Bungles the Bashful. And it's with that god that she's kind of sort of speaking with them, and they're kind of rediscovering their fulfillment for performing. And it's through that interaction that allows them to keep moving forward.
All right. Our last clown and clown god, Zoran.
Hey everyone. Zoran, his full name is Zoran Legaspi. And Zoran, you would think wouldn't really be the type of person you would find in a clown city, in a clown place. He's a very serious boy. Just like he studies how to be a clown, like a funeral director studies funerals. Basically, he's very serious about being a clown. And it just runs in his family. His of course it does. It runs in everyone's family. But this specific clown, he has decided that he will become an Auguste clown because he doesn't really have all the talents that he believes other people will have to be, when it comes to clown. So he's decided that it's okay. I will be the guy that takes all of the jokes, that's all of the pranks. So he chooses that stage, and he is happy in it. When you look at him, he is he is painted in a strict traditional Auguste clown, which is just like not much in the way of makeup. It's just white eyes, a white mouth, and then black, and then like a red nose. Just plain, and then he's just wearing plain outfits. None of these big shoes and all that, because he is the supporting character. That is who he is. And when he first met Ernesto, the clown god of support, basically, the supporting character god, as he likes to be called. His name is Ernesto, which means serious, which is really great. He's a tall, dark man. Imagine Manny Jacinto, but taller. And he saw Zoran, and he chose him because he was impressed by a lot of people who got into the Auguste role usually consider it as a stepping stone to the next level. And Ernesto believes in Zoran, and in that he actually loves this position and he actually likes this. He's not going anywhere. This is an art form. This is still important. And that time, when Zoran met Ernesto for the first time, Zoran felt very vindicated in a sense, because a lot of people are like, all right, after you study this, what's the next step, and they're always so surprised when Zoran's like, this is a step, this is what I want to be, and nobody believes him about it. But that's Zoran and his very serious, very handsome Ernesto.
Amazing. So that is what you all are going to enter into our story with, having had these encounters, having had these history, and all knowing each other, because we start our story at Clown College, or as you would all call it, college, because we are picking up in a clown world where being a clown is just what everybody does. We're going to start, because as we all decided ahead of time during our co-creation of the world, you are all freshmen at Clown College. So you're all relatively new to this place, you're all relatively new to each other and to knowing each other, but you share the same dorm area, so you have a same common space that you all share that's like your dorm common room, which is where we're going to find all of you. I am curious to go around once more, but this time it's really just popcorn. People throw things out. What do you think is something in this space? What is your shared like dorm space look like in Clown College?
I mean, it's pastel for sure. There's like pastel colors everywhere. There's giant crayons. There's literally giant, instead of like a normal pot with flowers on it, it's just flowers. Sometimes would randomly spray you with water, kind of thing. It's just, and it's very relaxing for the people in Clown College to have this clown hangout area. This is where they relax, space. Really. Yeah, this clown space. So that's what I think that looks like.
There's also a microwave that makes the entire room smell completely of popcorn. Like, no matter what is cooked in there, it's just constant popcorn smell.
I want to say it's probably just the Lost and Found, but it's full of clown props that people just borrow routinely to practice routines and such.
Please, did you have anything? You don't have to. I'm already.
Yeah, no, I'm literally thinking. I was like, oh, all I can think of is, man, the PA system whenever there's an announcement is just like the car honking sound.
And everybody has to respond to it. Yeah. Everybody goes honk honk back. It's just the expectation,
That's how we do, the Pledge of Allegiance. It's like
honk honk.
You have to do that every morning.
I mean, it would be effective at getting people up out of bed. I think that would get even college students to get up out of bed.
Yeah.
No, so far, even with that, this sounds like a place I would want to hang out in. I think even the plant randomly spraying you with water would wake you up when you're trying to do your homework. So this is where we find all of you. This relaxing space, aside from occasionally being sprayed in the face with water and having to echolalia honk back at your PA system. Which, let's be honest, everyone would probably do anyways, even if it wasn't a requirement. So we find all of you there. What are you doing as we find you there? How do we find you in terms of, are you all sitting together? Do you think that you're sitting apart working on stuff? And if we're considering this as truly just an average afternoon, you say you've already been to classes, you probably have some homework. what does your kind of average afternoon in this space that we've described actually look like?
Van is definitely working on intro to clown ethics work. Possibly with Zora, since that's where we met.
Zoran is probably very nervous, like really trying to study, and has a book open about the importance of the different styles of clowns. You know, the different pranks and all that, and it's a very heavy encyclopedia of all like if Wikipedia was a book and all the content in Wikipedia was just about clowns, that would be that book. And Zoran cannot focus because Dell is right next to him, but it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm a good student. I got here on clown scholarship. Honk honk.
Sloan has a book open, but is completely ignoring it, procrastinating, and just kind of vibing on the couch, listening to some music.
Lulu is practicing for their clown facial theater 110 class, because they have an upcoming midterm where they have to dance on a unicycle while handling a pie to the face. Very hard, but they've been practicing all morning, essentially.
Very funny to me because the image is three of you on the couch and one of you just on a unicycle in this space, I think is what that looks like.
Normal.
Which is normal.
Yeah, it's just a normal day.
Normal, fine and normal average day at college. So that is how we find all of you, again, on what is truly a completely average day for all of you. As you are having this completely average and normal day together, spending time kind of casually relaxing in each other's presence, right? You're not the best of friends yet. You've only known each other for this part of freshman year. Some of you are maybe something different than friends. We'll see how that goes and how that proceeds. But while you are here, something happens that is different. That is not this normal. Because what you all have had, at least one interaction with your clown god, it is... Oh, Sophia, do you have a...
Never mind. I was going to say I need you to refresh your captions, but they kicked in just as I was about to say it, so go ahead.
You scared them and they knew to come back. So, yeah, you all have had at least one interaction with your clown god that we have already seen in that little mini flashback that we started with. But what has never happened before is that you've never encountered each other's clown gods. But now as you're here in this space, you hear a sort of like a rumbling, like a thundery sound. And all of a sudden, instead of being here in this space, you are taken and transported to truly just a, like, completely plain room with a, like, seated, like, the Council of the Clown Gods sitting up and looking down at you, where we see Ernesto, Timepiece, Glitter Bugaboo, and Bungles. All of your clown gods seated together in this very formal fashion, looking down at the four of you, with I think Lulu still on the unicycle, because that's funnier. And the rest of you just sort of standing there and looking up at your clown gods. And they all sort of take turns speaking as they talk to you. And I'm not going to do 4 different voices for them, so we're just going to assume that you get like a sentence from each of them as they each speak. Sloan, Lulu, Van, Zoran. What we've gathered you here today for is no laughing matter. We have some very concerning news for the 4 of you. We here in our world believe in the importance of clowns bringing laughter and joy to everyone we encounter. But we have learned a very disturbing piece of news, which is that not all clowns everywhere believe in this common goal. And that there are some who seek to corrupt the good name of clowns everywhere by making clowns scary.
Scary clowns? What does that mean, Ernesto?
As far as we can tell, it means that it is clowns whose goal is to inspire fear in anyone that they meet. Doing things like crawling out of sewers and wearing makeup that is twisted and distorted and scaring children by sneaking up behind them or running around with knives. It's all very concerning information, and we're still trying to figure out what it all means.
It's the opposite of what we are.
Yes. We're not sure how this happened or where this came from. But we have a reason to believe that these evil clowns are coming here to our world. There are truly so many clowns. I mean, everybody here is a clown. There's so many clowns here that if they could corrupt the clowns here, they could truly spread them across every universe, everywhere. And I think it is specifically Timepiece who says that, because they are the one who has the best understanding of how the multiverse works. And I think they are looking at you, Van, specifically, because you have a bit of an understanding about what evil clowns are. I think you're the only one here who would even know that evil clowns are a thing that can exist.
Yeah, definitely.
You four are the epitome of your clown type. What you represent is some of the best at what you are. And so we are asking you to go and investigate this encroaching darkness, this threat. We will guide you to it, and we can offer you protection from it for a time. You cannot stay there too long. Any clown that enters this space will eventually become corrupted by it. But we can offer you a temporary shielding of protection to keep you safe. You just can't stay there for more than 24 hours, or we don't know what will start to happen to you.
I understand.
Are they not in our universe yet?
We've just spotted the first sign that at least one of these scary clowns has entered our universe, has entered our space. We will be sending you there to where they are.
And what do you want us to do with them once we find them?
Since this is just happening, as far as we know, just learn more information. If you can stop them, that would be truly amazing. If you could at least stop them from entering our world. Perhaps we cannot stop them, or you cannot stop them from their entire mission, but we have to keep our world safe, or who knows what will happen to every other world everywhere. And who knows what will happen to the good name of clowns everywhere. If you cannot stop them, if you can just learn more about them, that would also be helpful. We are not sure while you are there if we will be able to reach or contact you, but you can try to reach out to us if you need anything.
Okay.
We can't let them destroy our world.
Truly, if this corruption spreads, it will turn everyone it touches, everyone in this entire world, into some twisted and distorted version of what a clown is and is supposed to be. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them. Again, you can try to contact us while you are there, but we can't quite see what is happening. It is an interesting space that is distorted in time and reality that we cannot see into.
Is it?
So
Is it part? You say that it isn't really our world. Is it part of a different world, or is it just a temporary space?
We're not sure yet. That would be helpful if you could figure that out. We're not sure exactly where the concept of a scary clown or an evil clown, we're not sure where that concept even comes from. That doesn't make any sense. So we're not exactly sure where this idea arose from or how it got to be here. But we know we need to at least stop it for now and learn anything we can.
How will we get there?
We do know where it is, and we will be able to guide you there.
Do we need to prepare anything?
We can't say for sure. Anything that you can bring with you to, we would assume, remind you of what it means to you to be a clown would be helpful in case any of the corruption starts to reach you or any of each other. We are sending you all together, and we speak to you now all together so that you do not enter this space alone, but lean on each other and your collective, different but each equally important ways of being a clown. You may have to miss a few days of your classes. I don't think that any of your teachers would buy a note from the clown gods as an excuse to miss. So you will likely just have to miss some days of class and hopefully be able to make that up when you are all back.
Can you give me a super extra note? Because I have a midterm soon.
Hopefully we can get you back in time for your midterm.
Okay, that works for me.
Truly the idea of just going to your teacher and being like, yeah, I'm excused from class. The gods said I can't.
The gods summoned me.
Summoned me.
I got summoned by the gods, guy.
You know him. Ernesto, yeah. You know him.
Everybody knows Ernesto.
Everybody knows who Ernesto is. Come on, man.
Right.
All right. So I think with that, the vision around you fades and being in this like empty room, being looked down on by the clown gods, and you just are back in the space in your dorm. The thing that is different, though, is that as you kind of come back into the space and come back to realizing, okay, that was weird and interesting, and we've never had this like collective group vision before. I'm not even sure if it's up to you how much you told each other even about the existence of your clown gods. You might have thought you were the only one who was visited by the clown gods, and now you know that's not true. So what you see is that there is just a like glowing blue light that is going in a direction that looks like a trail that you can follow. But it's not going anywhere. It doesn't mean that you need to leave immediately, but it is essentially that you have the option of being guided in a direction whenever you choose, but you also have time to prepare to pack anything that you feel like you need to pack or to discuss what just happened.
This whole time, Van has been silent, but has kind of been like staring at Salone. So, like, since they started talking about like the scary clowns and all this, has been staring at Salome.
Was I the only one who saw that?
Oh, I thought I almost accidentally ate one of the special cotton candy outside, but you know.
Zoran is taking down copious notes. No. We all saw that, and we should get ready and be prepared for when we need to travel to this dark dimension of evil, scary clowns. It makes no sense. How could that be?
Did they even leave us a map or a trail of where to go exactly?
Yes, there's a trail that you can see. There is just a path ahead of you that is kind of lit up that you can follow.
Can it be marked with like a sign? Evil Clown Land.
Yeah, evil clowns that way. Yeah.
It's just a little like like a little sticker arrow.
Yeah.
Evil Clown Land that way.
I think
No
it's
one else
funnier-
sees it. We just see it.
You all, the four of you see this. I think it's funnier, truly, if it is like a full signpost that has other signs on it as well. Like, it is just very helpful, and it's giving you, like, you see directions to get to, like, your clown ethics classes on there. Not that you need to know that. But there's, like, one that is marked that is very clearly, like, lit up that is, like, evil clowns this way.
Yeah.
Nice.
We should get ready, right?
I guess. But what do we even... I don't even know how to even prepare for that. Like, scary clowns? Like... I never even heard of anything like that before.
Neither have I. It hasn't come up in any of my research.
Do you think they just need, like, a hug?
Maybe they just weren't hugged growing up. They must have lived such terrible lives.
You can try, but it's never worked before. I've seen them before. A hug was never enough.
You've seen them?
What about a pie?
Nobody's,
Like a really good pie.
To the face?
nobody's
No,
tried
just
that.
to eat.
Nobody.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, I have like a bunch of pies from like, like my midterm.
I mean, we could also try the pie to the face thing. I personally enjoy a pie to the face.
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
Maybe they've never gotten a pie to the face. The poor guys. We must save them.
How have you seen them then?
It's a long story. A really, really long story.
Well, we don't know how long this walk is going to be. Maybe it'll be long enough for you to tell us.
Okay. Well, it starts with me being from another time, another world.
Are there bad clowns there too?
Yeah, they've kind of taken over everything.
I do not like that.
It's not good there.
So like you came from like a different time and a different place, so like both like good and bad have just like happened.
Yeah. When I first met Timepiece, he sort of shoved me through time and into this world. And I guess kind of saved me from the scary clowns. But yeah, there's things are not good there. So I'm glad to be here, that's for sure.
Zoran tentatively sort of reaches out and puts a hand on Dell's hand as well. I'm glad you're here too.
When Zoran does that, Van blushes immediately, bright red.
And Zoran smiles. Haha. Success! The books I've read are working. At home, you see Zoran has a bunch of books that says dating clouds 101 kind of thing. Just books. And all of them are nice. None of those like those weird, because those don't exist. Those weird books on how to pick up clowns. It's just not. It's a lot of like very, very nice ways of treating clowns, really, of all types. You know.
All right. Well, it seems like you all have this conversation. I think anything else, if you do have a bit of a journey. You all don't know this yet, but you do have to leave the grounds of your campus and actually leave Clown City, or just the city that you all live in, and walk towards the outskirts. So if there's anything else you all want to say, first, is there anything in particular anyone wants to grab to bring with them? You don't have a lot of information about where you're going, and you don't have a lot of information about what you're doing. The one thing that the clown gods did tell you is that this is a place that corrupts clowns, that can turn you into an evil clown. So if there's something you want to bring with you to remind you of why you are a clown, of the value that you find in that, of what your mission is as a clown, if you think you would have some kind of object like that, that is something that they did say that you could potentially bring. But otherwise, we will have you be on the road and heading towards unknown dangers.
Go ahead, sorry.
Real quick, can I get everybody to refresh their captions? I do not know what's going on, but they keep blinking in and out. They'll work and then stop working.
That's a Caption Ninja issue, I believe. It's been doing that. It did that in another game I was just in recently. We love technology.
Because every time I'll look over and it's
again.
not working, and then it starts working, and then it stops.
It just gets scared of you, really.
Yeah. But Van, make sure to have Dell's deck of tarot, clown themed, of course, tarot cards.
Zoran brings a handbook written by his great-great-grandfather on how to be a ghost clown, because it runs in the family. You know, like, it's a long line of goose clowns. I really hope I'm pronouncing a goose right, but if I'm not, well, it's too late now. It's stuck.
I don't think Sloan would take anything extra. Just there's themselves.
I'm going to comedically hide a pie in my bag, but you know, it's like one of those it's like kind of like a Mary Poppins bag a little bit, where you just like you can hide whatever's in there, and it's just like massive space in there. Anyways,
and it'll be fine. You can travel and you will be able to pull out a full pie that is completely fine when you get there, 100%.
Exactly. How pies work.
That's how pies work, and how bags work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, they're going to get their trusty little cowboy hat that they have. That's ridiculously huge, but they bring it with them for good luck always.
Absolutely. And with that, you all head off. The journey does take you a little ways. Since we did describe that you had, it had been afternoon when you'd all been together, you actually probably are going to want to wait till morning so you can start out on a fresh day and get some rest. You weren't really given a timeline. You know that you can't be in the corrupted space for more than 24 hours. And you do know that it is spreading. So you are on a little bit of a rush. But if you all want to head out, I mean, when do you all think you would head out? When do you think makes the most sense? Do you want to head out and travel under the cover of darkness and make it there first thing in the morning? Do you want to wait and be, well rested to take on the journey? What are you all thinking?
Van would want to set out right away.
Zoran would be the opposite because he wants to say goodbye to his parents, make sure everything, and also I have to take a very important book with me. I would need permission from certain family members to be okay with it. Make sure copies are still fine, that kind of thing. So probably the next morning for Zoran.
Sloan would probably want to wait till the next morning as well, just because not sure how long it's going to be. Want to get as much done during the day as possible.
I think for Lulu, it would probably be whenever possible, but if people need to go after, then yeah, I think Lulu would take the time to make sure they have everything ready.
We could say, like, compromise, you leave really early in the morning, like obnoxiously early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, if you don't mind, if we're waiting, I would like to use my Oracle ability, gather info.
Go for it.
So Oracle means that you can perceive a myriad of timelines leading from the past to the future. When you gather info, gain +1 effect level. And that
Absolutely.
is analyze.
Yep, so go ahead and roll your dice, and you are gaining that +1 effect level, which means that this would normally be... this would normally be pretty hard to do, in terms of your effect, or because what are you trying to do? I'm assuming you're trying to just, like, see various, like, timelines and see various outcomes, or just, like, gather some information about what you're going to encounter.
Yes. Do you want me to ask the question I want answered now, or do you want to wait until I've rolled the dice to...
Roll the dice first.
Okay. Oh, wow, that is terrible.
Oh.
A 1 and a 2.
Okay, yeah, that answers that, I think. What is the question, just so we know?
Van wanted to know what would happen if Del left on Del's own and went and when Del is doing this, Van holds up one of the tarot cards and is looking at the timelines through the face of the tarot card.
Absolutely. I think that... How does assigning you stress work in this game? Because I think that what happens is that this doesn't harm you, right? Like, I don't want this to assign harm to you. But you actually, as you rolled 2 failures, your highest roll was a failure. But you do actually get the information that you're looking for. You succeed in seeing what would happen if you went by yourself. It is all bad. It is all awful and bad. You see multiple different timelines of, I think, even worse versions than the future that you yourself have come from. You just see yourself going into this, like, twisted carnival. There's a storm overhead, and you just see you lose every situation of this that you try, and the twisted evil clowns take over this world and spread darkness throughout the multiverse, so much so that people can't even remember that clowns used to be good, and everyone everywhere is scared of clowns. And I think that just has you take stress. I don't know if stress is actually a consequence you normally assign in this game, or if you get it otherwise, but that feels like the correct outcome for this. Because you don't take any kind of physical harm. There's not really anything I can do to tick anything forward on a clock, because the clock hasn't started yet. There's not really... that is a complication, we'll say. That's your complication. Your complication is that you're stressed.
I would say, Warren, you're running the game, so if that's the consequence, I like it as a consequence here. I think it works.
I think it makes sense. It's not a normal consequence of Girl by Moonlight, just so everybody knows. But I don't want to start you out necessarily by taking emotional harm from that, because that feels like it would be a lot for the first roll of the game. So, yeah, you just wind up stressed from that. I think feels like it fits the vibes here.
Just
And
stress?
yeah. How does Van react to that information?
Oh. I don't think Van takes it well. Del just sits in the shared space all night, thinking it over. The purpose of going on Del's own would be to try to protect everybody else, which wouldn't work. So just, I think Van's now really worried about, how do I protect them then?
It's a great question that you will have to figure out as you head out. Just for everyone else's sake, as you go and as you're gathering things and as you're getting stuff, everywhere you go, the sign follows you and continues to point in the direction that you need to go. You have a traveling sign following you around that nobody else can see. But you're able to go off on your own for a bit. You're able to gather your things, get permission to take the book with you, and reconvene at what I think is truly an obnoxious hour of the morning to be awake, if folks are okay with that being the compromise of not leaving immediately, but leaving as early as possible so that you can head out and make it to wherever you're going while you still have some light. Now that it's been a couple of hours since you've all seen each other, is there anything you think that you talk about on the walk? Anything important that you think happens while you're traveling? Or is it just kind of an uncomfortable silence as you march towards something that you're not quite sure what it is?
I think it would be an uncomfortable silence for Sloane, at least. I don't know if the others are making small talk, but they would not.
Totally fair, given where you're headed. It seems like it might be awkward small talk all around. If nobody had... Oh, Sophia, did you have something?
I was just trying to give other people space if they had something they wanted to say, but otherwise I think Van would make small talk with Zoran.
And Zoran would probably be making sure to share the book with Van and be like, this is my grandfather and this is my great grandfather and this is my grandma. She really pushed the label of being a goose clown because she was one of the people who really wanted to show that women clowns could do it too, and she was really, really cool. And then just kept sharing the goose history and how the Legaspi family was a big part of that. It was really, really proud of it. It's just sharing it with Del.
And Del would occasionally try to bring the others into the conversation, but it sounds like maybe that's not happening if people are just kind of sitting in awkward silence otherwise.
I guess I think I would try to break the silence a little bit and try to ask Van if they could be honest on what was something that you encountered previously in terms of these clowns, so we can kind of what was a really bad moment, so we can kind of be thinking ahead of what should we be prepared for.
Do we want to do another gather info roll and see what I remember?
You can. See if it goes as well as the last one.
Oh no, I need different dice.
No!
That is a 2 and a 3. So
oh no!
These ones are
Okay.
are going away.
Here's how we're gonna play with that. This is more of a narrative consequence to this failure, which is that, Sophia, Van remembers things from the other timeline. You remember encounters that you've had with evil clowns and scary clowns, but you also have an awareness that when you traveled through time, some of your memories are no longer accurate. So you know that you remember things, but I think you also have the knowledge that your memories may or may not be correct. So you can choose to share something and you can truly make up whatever you want. It may be true and I may incorporate it in later to when you're actually encountering these evil clowns, or it may just be that you completely fabricate a memory and give your friends false information. You don't know exactly what happened to your memories in the process of jumping through both time and space.
Okay.
It was like a super happy one, that's it.
When I was really, really young, I always wanted to be the brave kid that didn't believe in the in the boogeyman and the scary clowns hiding in the closet, that kind of thing. And I remember one night at a sleepover, there was a knock at the door, and I just thought it was somebody playing a prank on us. I didn't believe it could be one of the scary clowns or something like that. And I, against the protest of my friends, I opened the door, and one of the clowns was standing on the steps, holding a grotesque version of like a rubber chicken that was like really scary. I can't describe it. I don't remember what it looked like so much, but I remember being terrified of it and slamming and locking the door.
Well, that's actually very terrifying. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That sounds awful. How did you guys cope with it?
Well, we went back to our sleepover. We locked all the doors and windows, but we went back to our sleepover and we stayed up the rest of the night and watched cartoons and snuck ice cream.
That sounds nice, at least.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you.
I can't imagine a world where that happens, so we must stop it.
Yeah, we must.
Can you imagine just being a child and walking around and seeing an evil clown? Terrifying. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
As we hit this moment, as the reality of what will happen if you don't stop this, I think is hitting all of you, you get your first glimpse in the distance past the edges of the city of the twisted Carnival. None of you have ever seen anything like this before because nothing like this exists or is supposed to exist in this world. You see a storm brewing overhead, a storm brewing over the space of this carnival, where the carnival itself is dark. There are trees that have no leaves and no greenery on them. There are, like, everything looks just kind of torn and worn. Like, this place has been here for a very long time and is falling apart in front of you. Except it's never been here before. This is not a thing that is supposed to have ever been here. You see as you walk up a few, like, glowing lights from inside, and you hear creaking and groaning and distorted carnival music from this rundown, falling apart, shredded looking, like, tents have what look like claw marks in them as you approach this carnival. There is a sign. As you see, like, the entrance to the carnival, the place you're supposed to enter, there's actually a, like, metal sign above the entrance that would have had some sort of name, but a bunch of the letters have fallen off. And the letters that are there are in a font that is just really hard to read and really hard to decipher. So you can't actually really tell what this used to say or what it's supposed to say. But that is what you see as you walk up and you approach. There is basically sort of just like a tent on either side of the entrance and one path. The path is like just a gravel dirt path leading straight in, and it is lined on either side by what appear to be like carnival games, basically, like the unwinnable, unbeatable types of games that you would find at a carnival. And that is what you see, and it's very obvious that that is where the sign is leading you towards. Because again, this is not a thing that's ever been here nor ever supposed to be here. And as you walk up, the sky rumbles above you with this storm that is brewing overhead.
Can we see from the outside if there's anyone walking in there?
You can see down like one specific path. You can't quite see it if it branches off. And you don't appear to see any people. What you can see as you look, and if anyone wants to roll me a perceive, you can try and see if you see anything more than this. Yeah, basically all you can see for now is just the path kind of leads forward into darkness. You can't really see anything beyond the first couple of feet. The only like distinguishing feature that is different than like the tents or the tops of the tents or the like wooden stands of the carnival games is that there is a large Ferris wheel that appears to be in the center and does appear to be moving. Does appear to be actively going around and around and around.
How do we roll a perceive if we don't have any dice listed in the category?
I just roll one dice, right?
You roll one, but you have I think you have a penalty. I think you always can roll, but you roll at a...
Unless you, like, push or something.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I would like to push myself.
Okay.
Unless you have a poison promise for me. But I would like to roll to perceive.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that. Is it what particularly are you looking for? Because I can possibly offer you a poison promise.
Cool. While I'm looking in there, I'm looking for any signs of anybody in trouble.
Okay.
Anyone in need. Anyone who just really needs a hug and a pie, really. Just sad boy clown there, maybe, kind of thing.
Makes sense. Yeah, No, you can go ahead and do that if you want. I think that the poisoned promise, which would again add a bonus die to your roll that I will offer you here, is that if
Without
you...
the stress, right? Without
Yeah.
the stress.
Yeah.
No.
I believe that's how the poison promise works in this case. If you succeed and you're able to identify people in distress, you will be doing so at the cost of overlooking potential danger.
Okay. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, danger to yourself, who cares, right?
Who cares? What is our position? Risky, controlled, desperate?
Right now, since you haven't entered the space, everything is just standard.
Oh, standard. Oh, no, that's effect.
Yeah, and the position is just controlled, the middle.
Controlled. Cool.
Yeah. Everything is kind of just average right now. You're not in any risk because you haven't actually entered the space. I'm assuming you're doing this from like standing out in front looking inside.
So I would just be having like 2 dice, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I also would like to see while Glaze is doing this, but I will be pushing myself for 2 stress.
Okay.
I got a 6 and a 1, which means it's a success.
Which means it is a success, absolutely. I'll go ahead and get Lisa's result as well. Are you looking for anything in particular? Because Zoran is very particularly looking for like people in distress.
I am not looking for anything in particular.
Okay.
I got a 5 and a 6.
Okay. So you are being very perceptive. If you're pushing yourself and you don't have any dots, I think you only roll 1 dice, but we can say it's the 6. We can say that you are all being very, very perceptive as you stand at the edge of this place and look inwards. What you notice is a couple of things. You notice first that you really should be able to see further into this space. You should be able to see more. It's weird that you can't. And it is weirdly empty. You are not hearing any sounds of people. You are not hearing the noise of anyone here. You're just hearing things kind of creak and groan and move and the sounds of like wood or metal. But you're not hearing the sound of any people. It's just a bad setup for a carnival. You think that you can see actually as you look down further, like something is blocking the path that you should be on, which is not a very great setup. It's not a welcoming, inviting, warm, come on in and join us in this carnival. The other thing that you notice as you perceive is that it is slight. It is not jumping leaps and bounds, but you see that the storm overhead grows and gets a tiny bit bigger. And you realize that as the storm overhead grows, the darkness around the carnival also moves forward, and it seems like the carnival itself is slowly, bit by bit, inch by inch, extending out into the space around it. So it seems like this place is constantly growing and expanding. Zoran, you are really particularly narrowing in. I don't even know if you notice that the space is like growing and moving. You are just looking for signs of any kind of distress. It's very, very faint. But in the distance, you hear a feminine voice that just sounds like cursing. Like, just sounds like someone going, fuck, damn it, damn. And then, like, pausing for a second. And then you hear another noise, like a metal or like a clinking. And then you hear again, like, another string of curses.
Oh, no.
But you don't see anyone. You can't see this person. You have no idea exactly what's going on. It is just truly too hard to see down this path in front of you.
I look at my friends and my friend. We should try to go inside carefully. I do hear people in there.
Okay. I think when you say that, like, Van will take Zorn's hand and be like, let's be safe.
It is Zorn's turn to blush. Because he read also like to be vulnerable. And he lets it happen. And holds tight and goes, okay. Let's go.
Now, I would like to roll Oracle again. This is going to be Van's thing. But this time, specifically looking at Salone, which does give me an extra dice. I'm also going to, because I've been rolling bad, I'm going to take 2 stress and push for the extra dice. So I'll maximizing my dice. So hopefully maybe this time it goes better. Yay! 1-6.
Okay,
Yay.
that's all that you need.
Hooray!
What are you looking at particularly? You're looking at Sloane. Are you trying to see, I'm assuming danger befalling them is what you're looking for?
Yes, I want to see if there's anything already in motion with Salome. Like if anything is already happening to Salome.
Yeah, you look and you see various versions of the future as you activate this ability, this special thing that you can do, and you don't see that anything necessarily has already been set in motion. Entering here is inherently dangerous. You can see different versions of being in here where really the danger of being here is not death. You're not super in danger of dying. You're in danger of falling to the corruption. That's the danger that this space presents. You see different versions where you truly just get lost in here, and you realize that this place is sort of a maze. Nothing is laid out as it should be. If this was a carnival, it was organized by the worst planner in the world. There are things that truly just block the path in various places. There are forks in the road that lead to nowhere. It's very confusing and complicated how this space is laid out. So a lot of versions that you see when you look are just you all get lost in here, and you can't find your way out in time. You can't find a way to get out of here. And you see versions where Sloane in particular falls to the corruption, gets lost or separated from the rest of the group, just can't make it out in time. And so I think that's what you know of the danger and the threat. And what I'll say is at some point in the future, if you remind me, when we come to a fork in the road or a path in the road, Van will have a particular flash of a future memory that Del saw, and will know a path not to go down. Will know a way that would only get you lost.
Okay, cool. So for you, this isn't subtle. Like Van is pointing a card at you and looking at the card, like at you through the card. So you do see this.
All right. Sloan kind of looks around, like, what are you doing, Van?
Oh, just making sure you're okay. You are okay, right? You don't feel anything?
Nothing. Well, I mean, I feel a lot of things, but right now, if you mean like in trouble with the Dark Carnival taking over me, no.
Okay, good. You let me know if you do.
Do you know how to stop it? Is that why you're asking?
No. I mean, other than getting you out of here, away from them. I just want to make sure that you're okay.
Sloan is gonna kind of like sideways glance at Zoran because it feels like getting a little extra attention from Zoran, like because they're dating. And
Right.
Sloan is just like, I'm not interested in dating. Thanks though.
Yeah. Are you making it obvious to Zoran, or do I have to like? I think you are, right?
Like I'm looking pointedly at Zoran, but I'm not like saying anything.
Right. Zoran isn't confused at what's happening. I know Dell's power. Have we talked about this before? Is this something that
I believe we talked about Zoran knowing about Del's power, but not Del being from the future.
Right. Then, go ahead.
I was gonna say also, you would know that like Van and Sloane are kind of best friends because I believe that is what we talked about. Like Van and technically met Sloane before Sloane met the clown god. Knew before. So
okay, so I'm looking at Sloane and I'm going, because you would know better what's happening, and Zoran is just like, we started like, doesn't really say it, but sort of like really just sort of like lifts up his shoulders and go,
Okay. Sloane is just a little confused, but is gonna leave it as is for now.
Yeah.
Because there's more important stuff going on.
Yeah.
Should we try to enter, do you guys think? Like,
yeah. I think this is where we are being led to by our gods, I guess.
There's a little sign just like right by the entrance. There's obviously the sign to the carnival itself. There's just a little sign, evil clowns, and it's just an arrow.
There's like, correct, evil clowns. We need to.
I'm imagining these signs as very like Looney Tunes-esque signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Good.
Trix, how are you feeling?
Slightly nervous, but a little pumped up. But we're gonna try our best, and hopefully we can get enough intel. And I mean, it'd be cool if we can stop these guys, but I have no idea of what to expect in there. But
me neither. I've never heard of a scary clown, and this is my first time seeing one. But at least we're around, and then points to Van. At least somebody has seen one, and at least knows a little bit about it. Still, it is a terrifying thing to think about.
All right, then I think you all start to walk forward. It seems like you're all in consensus. Everybody agrees. Entering the Twisted Carnival. Two of you still hand in hand, I believe.
Yes.
And the others also there together as you walk into the entrance.
To not make the others feel left out, Zoran does hold his hand out. I think holding hands might help.
Sure. I will grab Zoran's hand.
And then pointedly looks at Van's other hand to see if Trix, or if they don't want to, it's fine too.
Yeah, if you wanna, whoever wants to hold Van's hand, then we'll do that. It's not against it.
Oh no!
Sloane will take Van's hand.
Okay, then the four of you walk together into this space. It is almost hard to it's not a very big entrance to this space. You kind of have to squish in together to enter four at a time down this gravel path that enters you into here, because it's not big. Again, this is not well set up for a carnival where there would be crowds and kids running through the path. This is not really set up well for a group of people to enter together.
Can I roll to the power of friendship make this door wider? I don't know what to roll to do that, but just the power of positive thinking.
I like the idea of the space reacting to you. I am gonna say you can.
That might be Defy.
I was also thinking flow might work.
Yeah, I could see it.
And actually,
I have.
given
I only have. I don't have. I only have dots in like confess and forgive. By the way, I'm
Okay.
like 0 at all of them. It's great.
yeah, you start out at very little in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to like push to try and do this, you can.
Yeah. I will. Are we doing defy or?
That it's up to you,
Well,
especially because you have. No
I'm
dots
0
in
on the
them.
other one.
Yeah.
I will push. So that's just 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll 1 die. It is a 4.
Okay. So that is a mixed success, or a success with some kind of consequence. Oh, I know what you all don't actually know what the negative effect of this is. It works,
Sweet.
and something bad happens. Yeah, it works. As you approach, by the power of your collective holding hands, by the power of the friendship and various kinds of love that are shared amongst this group, the space reacts to you, and the path widens, and the whole path down, not just the doorway, not just the entrance into... Doorway is an over-exaggeration, the kind of like entrance into this space that is framed out by the name that can no longer be read. That entrance widens, and so does the path, so you can walk down the path hand in hand. Somewhere, something out in the distance in this space reacts to your presence as you enter, as the space also reacts to you. You walk down this path that is again lined on either side by like carnival games that are all in various stages of falling apart. There are no longer any prizes here to be won by playing these games. There are like the hooks and the spaces where prizes would have used to have been, but are not anymore. And as you walk, I believe I mentioned earlier that it seems like there's something that is blocking the path, which is a poor layout for a carnival. And you do come to just truly in the center of the space where you're walking is a carousel. It is just immediately in the center, and it appears very normal. The paint on it is a little bit old. The paint on some of the animals is like worn down from use and from wear. But it is playing music that sounds like the normal music that you would hear on a carousel. And it's working. It seems to be operational. It's moving very slowly, but it is slowly moving. And it is truly in the center of your path. It's a horrible placement for anything to be because you're trying to walk here.
This seems too normal to be here.
It's most certainly a trap. Is there a way around? Another way we can go?
You can roll perceive. Yeah, even the lights are on it. Like it's very oddly just normal. Just normal, but a little old and a little worn.
Two
Oh, no.
fours.
Okay, that's better than like 2 1s or a 1 and a 2. Because
That
that
is
does
true.
still fall you into the mixed success. So, you walk forward, you approach a little bit to start to look for another way around. I think the thing that is successful here is that you find what seems to be a small gap where you could possibly like squeeze through in between this and one of the games. You would kind of have to crawl through one of the like wooden booths of the game. I think the consequence here is that as you're getting closer and as you are looking, you kind of trip over a rock that's in the ground in this like just dirt gravel path, and your hand reaches out and touches one of the horses as it goes by. And as soon as you touch that, Van is gone. The rest of you no longer see Van standing there in front of you. And I think that is the consequence, and I think that is where we're gonna leave and go to our break. I think that's where we're gonna leave it. You all watch Van take a step forward, sort of trip and stumble, touch this thing, and disappear from your sight.
Great.
And we'll pick up and we'll see what happens next after that. When we come
Sounds
back.
wonderful, really.
All
Perfect.
right, we're all gonna go take a break that will range somewhere from 10 minutes to 24 hours. For those of you who are viewing this at home, feel free to pause and take a break. There will be no break in between this. We will immediately be picking back up for you, so enjoy that. But do also take a break, get some water, stand, walk around, come back to this whenever you're ready, and we will return for more clown adventures shortly. Break. We certainly did. We took a break of an undefined period of time. Who knows? Maybe it was 5 minutes, maybe it was a day, but we were certainly gone, and we are now back. And welcome back to Girl by Moonlight Clown Edition. As a reminder, Clown by Moonlight. If you somehow are just joining us now, this game is filled with clowns. We left off with our 4 clowns in Clown World and Clown College being visited by their clown gods and told of an encroaching darkness of evil clowns. There's a little bit of talking about what to do and decisions being made about how to approach this before the 4 of them set off on their journey, where they have just very recently arrived to this twisted carnival that is covered in shadow and storm and decaying, and things are falling apart and things are weirdly out of place. Van had a vision of the future, looking particularly at Sloane and the fates that may befall them, in which Van was able to see just the weirdness of the carnival and how truly easy it is to get lost there and to fall to the corruption of becoming an evil clown yourself once you are in this space. Then the next thing that Van tried to do was to look for a way around the first obstacle, which is this very poorly placed carousel right in truly the center of your path. Van walked forward to look for, like, where can we go? How can we get around this? Tripped over a rock as part of a consequence on a roll, and stumbled forward and touched the side of the carousel and vanished instantly. So we are going to pick up with Van, because we need to find out where in the world Del has gone to. Everyone else sees you vanish. For you, you do move. Like, you are no longer standing. You were standing upright, and now you are not. You are seated. And you look around and you realize that you are on the ride. You have been transported onto the carousel itself. From the outside, it looked truly normal. It looked so normal that it was odd, that it was immediately something that you questioned. The lights were on, the music is playing, the animals, like, the paint is a little bit worn, but for the most part, it looked as you would expect. Now that you are here, for one, you notice, like, there were 2 rows of animals that you saw. You are in row 20. Like, there are rows and rows of animals that would separate you from wherever the outside of this is, to the point where you can't see the outside. Like, you just look to your side and see rows of animals as far as you can see. The other thing is that this was moving pretty slowly. Here, it is moving very, very fast. And you are strapped in. You are buckled onto this horse or whatever generic carnival animal you're riding. And the music is very loud. And that is where you find yourself.
I guess first thing, can I stand up?
You can try to. Do you mean, like, stand up as in just, like, stand up on the horse, or try to get off of it? Like, try to undo the belt?
Try to undo the belt and try to get off the horse, yes.
Okay, yeah. You try to undo the belt, and it seems like it's stuck. Like, it seems like the buckle is stuck. You could probably cut it or, like, break out of it, but undoing the buckle doesn't work. And if there is anything you would like to roll at any point in time, you certainly can. As a note / reminder, I did actually read the rules to this game. A wild thought to do when you're running something. I have read them before. I just hadn't read them in a hot minute. If you have 0 dice, you roll 2 and keep the lower result. So we're gonna just pretend we've been doing that all along.
Okay.
That's how I've been rolling. I don't know how everybody else has been rolling.
And I'm all alone, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you are all alone. You don't see anyone else. You don't know that they don't see you, but you don't see anyone else.
Okay. I am going to try to break free.
Mm-hmm.
Using Defy.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there's anything better. I think Defy is best. Your dice really love you in this game, Sophia.
They love you or you hate you.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no! No!
You try to break free, and as you do so, it's almost like the carousel reacts. Like it can tell that you're trying to break loose, because it starts going faster, and the music gets louder, and it is very disorienting. To the point where, honestly, even if you were to stand at this point, you probably wouldn't be able to walk or, move forward, because it starts spinning just so fast. And to everyone else watching, you don't see this at all. You don't see anything change.
Oh, so it's like the inner layers are moving faster, but not the outer layers. Okay. I think then it is time for Del to transcend. Because this is a pretty bad situation, and it was time for that.
Yep. You are, as far as you are aware, you are alone, you cannot see your friends, and there's not a clear way out. As far as you can tell, you are trapped. So, when you transcend, you can do that at any point in time. You have to answer some questions for me, which I'm going to read to you. You can activate your transcendence once per mission, but you can do it at any time. The questions that you answer... Well, first you describe your transformation, and you answer, what does your true self look like? How does it feel to transcend?
Okay. Van transcends. It is very flashy in sort of a very clown-ish way of there's tarot cards flying out it's a prank and stuff, and then what Del looks like, usually more on the androgynous side, but transcended, more femme. Still black and white color palette. Skirt, lots of stripes. The skirt has a tarot card pattern on it, so there's just various tarot cards making up the pattern, and the important thing is the clown makeup, which same color palette, with white base, and then clock hands for the eye makeup. And because it's magic, I believe, you know what? I'm gonna check what I wrote, just so I get the detail right.
Yeah.
Yeah, both eyes have the clock hands, and because it's magic, the left eye is accurate to the time in her home world in 2075, and the right eye is accurate to the world that she's in now, which is Clown World.
Very cool. So you have actual working clocks as part of your makeup, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What does it feel like to transcend?
We're going to go with a little bit of a time magic-y explanation for this, I think. And whether or not things are actually slowing down, for Dell, that's what it feels like, right? It's just things slowing down. It's that time magic-y feel. Dell feels a little more in control because things are just like slowing down.
And in fact, I think as that happens, and as you also embrace your truest self, your transcendent self, you notice that also seems to have an effect on this place. It doesn't really like that you're trying to slow down. There's something about this space that wants to be going faster and faster and faster, something that wants to be pushing you forward in a direction. You almost notice now with the slowing down that your mind feels more clear. Like I mentioned, there's something kind of disorienting just about being here. But you start to feel just more connected to your true self. And you do notice that, the space around you is still moving quickly, but you're a little bit more slow and centered in yourself. To the point where you think you actually could possibly walk out of here if you tried. But we're going to leave you there for a moment, I think, to think about what to do. Just because this takes a moment for you, right? You realizing that you can't get out, realizing where you are, and transcending. So everyone else has their moment to react in the immediacy of what happened if you all just saw Van vanish and no longer be standing in front of you simply by touching something. How does everyone react to that? Yeah.
Zoran immediately touches the thing that Van
Oh
touched.
my god.
Where? Touch. Bring me to Dell immediately. That is immediately what Zoran will do, because that's Zoran's friend. Big
Sure.
love. We haven't said I love. We've been only on a first date. We haven't gone steady yet. I think. I don't know how dating works. I have a book. I didn't bring my book.
Zora needs to read some more books, I think.
The book wasn't. The book just assumes. You know,
the book's not clear.
Book and Clownopedia.
Yeah.
Only guides to dating.
The guides to dating clowns. So anyway, Zora touches the thing immediately.
What do Lulu and Sloan do?
Wait, I try to reach out for Zora before he touches it. And I was like, no, wait!
Yeah, Sloan is also going to reach out for Zoran and try to, grab him.
This is going to be a contested roll.
Yeah.
We can roll a contested if people want to. I don't know
I'd love to.
how you do things, but I think it would be funny. We're going to go ahead and say, I feel like some version of Defy or Flow is what works best here.
I mean, either of those are 0 to me, so
Same. And you said it was 2 dice and take the lower one?
Yep, roll 2 dice and take the lower one.
Okay.
We'll truly just see who gets the highest roll, I think, determines who wins this.
Oh, God.
Kind of just a roll off at this point.
I got 2 rolls. One is a 4 and one is a 5, so I'm taking the 4.
Take the lowest roll, you said?
Yep, take the lower.
1.
I also got a 1.
Zoran is
Bye-bye, Zoran, yeah.
Zoran is in love. Yeah.
Would it be so funny if me and Salone tripped and we had to go after them?
Somehow in the background there's somebody going wah, wah.
I think the comedic timing of that is really funny. Zoran reaches forward, the two of you reach forward after him, like, no, wait. Zoran touches it, vanishes. The two of you, having rolled ones on this little made-up roll, both just, you don't touch, I don't think, the same place, but sort of trip and touch, like, the base of this carousel that's spinning around. And yeah, you all find yourselves, I think that this has been just enough time that Van, you have just transformed, and as you look around and you're kind of taking better stock of this, you see Lulu, Sloan, and Zoran are all also here in the same space as you. So it did work, to Zoran's credit. Zoran did find you. But now the three of you are also in the same position, stuck here with the loud music, and it's moving very quickly, and it's just a little bit disorienting of a space to land into.
The first thing Zoran says to Van is, "You look very pretty."
Van would be blushing if you could see it through the makeup. Thank you. Hold on. I would like to, if you'll allow me, to
Before that,
oh, go ahead.
Before that, Zoran is gonna go, "You look very pretty. Where are we?" And then starts stretching just to see if he changes as well, and nothing is happening. It's like, I guess it's just you. Anyway, go ahead.
This thing wants to move faster and faster. I would like to defy it by, like, imposing my will and time magic on it to bring it to a stop.
Go for it.
And I'm going to push for that extra die. Since my dice love me so much.
Love you so much.
2 4s.
Okay.
Aw,
Nice.
that's not so bad.
Yeah. You describe what you're trying to do.
Van wants to impose the time magic onto this and basically bring this to a halt or slow it down. This is Van's first attempt at something like this. He's not super experienced with the time magic, but it's sort of just concentrating on imposing that time magic on this.
Yeah. I'm gonna mess with the rules just a teeny tiny bit here, because this is technically supposed to be a success, it works with a consequence. I'm gonna flip that a little bit. Technically what you're doing doesn't work. The consequence is that you learn what will work. So this is more becomes information gathering. Because you're trying to impose your will on the space. You're trying to impose this, like, slow down, stop moving so fast, which is clearly the opposite of what this space wants. But you are not that great with the time magic. You don't know exactly what you're doing or how. And as you do, you get the sense that, like, this space around you is almost alive somehow. There's a really interesting quality to the space as you start interacting with it, and you can feel it, like, actively pushing back against you. It doesn't want you to do this. It doesn't want to slow down. It doesn't want to stop. And you realize as you put together a couple of pieces, one is, I think you potentially realize, like, oh, I feel a lot slower. I feel like I have gotten a lot slower in myself. I feel like being my truest self, connecting to that, I'm just more aware of this space. I'm noticing things better. And you're remembering what you were told from the clown gods about just staying connected to yourself, staying connected to the reason why you want to be a clown, to the things that, like, spread, joy and goodness and hope and laughter. I think there's also a moment, potentially, if you'll allow me to, this is a thing, you can say how Van would feel about this, where you also look at Zoran, and you feel that slowing down even more, right? Like, maybe your heartbeat speeds up a little bit, but there's something connecting about that relationship that you have. And you remember the clown god saying that too, that you were being sent in here all together. So I think it's multiple pieces of a puzzle sort of clicking together in your head that you can try and fight with this place. You can make this a fight, an imposed conflict. It might take a little bit. It might take some work and some effort and some time magic you don't fully understand. But you can also just ground and center in yourself and in your friends and in the people who are here, and that you don't need to make this place stop for yourself to stop and slow down.
Okay. I love that. I like that. How far away is Zoran from Van?
I think just far enough that if you were both, like, reaching out your arms, you could, like, take each other's hands.
Okay, yeah, I think Van's going to reach out to Zoran and just take my hand.
Grabs it immediately. She's like, sure, here we go. What's up? I mean, we're probably in an evil clown land, but, you know, how are you doing?
Good. Do you... Is everything slowing down for you?
GM, is everything slowing down for me?
That is up to you. Do you feel like in this moment of being more connected that you are feeling more centered, more connected, and more slow?
Honestly, I'm distracted by the hand that's in my hand. I don't know if that slows things down. When I first came here, I was very worried about evil clowns because that's not a thing. That's never happened ever. That evil clowns, what? And I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned that they're not getting the care that they need in order for them to not be evil clowns. I haven't seen any evil clowns just yet, and I'm distracted. So, that my focus now is really to just make sure that Van is okay.
But I think maybe things slow down a tiny bit because you are focused in on a very present thing. You're focused in on Van. You're focused in on the, like, physical feeling of the connection. But it's probably not slow enough for you to leave.
I'm gonna look at Van and I'm gonna go, do you have an idea what this place is?
No, not quite, but I think I'm starting to understand it. Understand how we can beat it.
How?
Together?
Oh, well, that's not too difficult. And then keeping your hand in my hand, I sort of like drag you a little bit, like sort of like girlfriend dragging. All right, well, let's go. Grabs the other, like, grabs the hand of the next nearest person and goes, we have to be holding hands and be together. But not in that way. I haven't explored that part of my life yet, so I can't really know. But we're gonna hold hands.
I mean, okay, that's fine. I imagine it would be Lulu, but it was like, okay, you know, I know something's going on with Van, and that's fine. You know what? You guys do you, but you know, this is like a platonic hand holding.
Yeah, it's a platonic hand holding.
Yeah, for the power of friendship or whatever. Yeah,
friendship kind of thing. Yeah. I think that's what Van says. But my hand holding of Van is totally not platonic.
Okay, I figured as much.
But our hand holding is platonic.
Yeah,
I haven't explored more than that.
All right, yeah. I mean, you guys could talk about it, but anyways.
Okay. And then sort of like elbows you a little bit to grab.
Oh, yeah. Slow. Grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Okay.
We're having like a friendship moment.
Okay.
You gotta trust me. Yeah.
I just grab Lulu's hand and say, okay, I don't know what the friendship moment means, but I got your hand.
I don't know what that means either, but I think we're gonna try to get out of this together. I'm not sure how, but you know, I'm here for you, and so is Zoran, and so is Van, and yeah, we're all here. Okay. Yeah.
I also whisper at Van, I think you should hold Sloane's hand too. Like
Can we even reach it?
Circle of hand friendship.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Just hold on. I think I've got this. I would like to try to guide everybody out of the carousel.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you connect to the people around you, you feel the connection to Zoran, and then through the connection to everyone else. The first thing you notice is the more you connect to that yourself, the more it does feel like this place almost kind of lets go of you, because the belt just unclips. Like, you've been fighting with it and trying to get it off, and now it's just kind of like, nope, I don't actually want you here anymore. Right? And so you're able to, a little bit complicated because you're all holding hands, slide down off of the back of the horse that you're on and start to make your way toward where the exit should be, right? Start to make your way toward the outside. It's a little bit unsteady, but now that you've figured it out, and now that I'm assuming Van is kind of continuing to feel that connection, to notice the things that help Delta feel slower and calmer, it's a little shaky, but you're able to walk just out, and you walk past again just too many rows of animals, far more than you saw, but you're able to guide everyone until finally you see what looks like the path again. And as you step down off the edge of the carousel, you realize that you are not where you started. That you managed to make it off in what seems like the other side, possibly, or an other side, or a different path, because none of the booths or anything that are near you look familiar at all. But you are back on just the gravel dirt path leading you deeper into the carnival.
Cool.
Okay, so what just happened? How did we get out of there? Like, do you understand how? Like, did you do it, Van?
Kind of. It was. I tried to force it to stop. And when I was trying to do that, I realized that it wasn't about it slowing down, but like me slowing down. And the way to do that was to ground myself with the connection to everyone. And then just guide us out of there. It was something the gods told us about our connection to each other.
Well, it definitely didn't like us all holding hands and our connection of friendship, apparently. So we just have to stay strong in that resolve. And maybe we have a chance at figuring this out.
Yeah, I think so.
The path that is ahead of you is truly just one path. There's no options yet. There's no places where the path divulges or goes a different direction. It's just a path forward. Anyone have anything they want to do other than just walk forward along this path?
Making sure that I understand what Van was saying, actually, Zoran is reading his book. Just sort of like making sure, true to myself, this is my family, this is who I am, and it's just spouting off clown facts to people. And whomever might be listening, honestly. It's like, hey, this is what being a clown really is. None of this stabby drag children under a sewer type thing that you guys might be doing in this place kind of situation. Just did you know in the year 19 whatever, basically just spouting like preaching clown facts as he's walking around, you know?
Yeah, and as you're doing that, as you're walking around, as you start walking down this path, you remember, Zoran, I think probably it got forgotten in the disorientation of being on the carousel, that you had heard a voice coming from inside of the carnival. And as you're starting to walk, you reach the first place where there is a path. And I did tell Sophia, Van, you do have one, like, free know which direction to go. You can know which is the best path to choose here. But before you get that information, Zoran, you pick up that the sound that you'd heard earlier, the kind of like metallic clanking kind of sound, followed by someone just cursing a bunch, is coming from your left. So you hear the sound of the first other person you've heard the entire time you've been in here is that way. Other than that, the paths look pretty similar. There's not a lot of like distinct difference in here, and it is just kind of an inherently confusing place to be. You can see how you would get lost, because everything kind of just looks like everything else.
Where do we want to go?
At this point, do the rest of us hear the clinking and cursing?
Yeah, I think you're close enough that everybody, like Zoran, you recognize that this is what you heard. This is the feminine voice that you heard earlier, but now everyone else can hear this too.
Does it sound like they heard me spouting my clown facts?
No, you don't hear any indication that this person is like reacting to you.
Cool. I'm gonna go look at the others and go, I think I'm gonna go closer. They need to hear me better. And unless someone stops me, Zord is just gonna walk there, but I am giving people
Sloan
a chance
is
to be
gonna
like,
put a hand on
stop.
his shoulder. Like,
what?
well, we should probably be careful because we don't know who this person is.
I suppose they're having a hard time, though.
We haven't seen any evil clowns yet. What if they're the first?
Then we just need to show them what it means to be a real clown, right?
Yeah, but we don't want to go stepping into danger if we can avoid it. So
I
we
suppose
should
you're right.
be a little sneaky first.
I might have to let you guys do that. I'm usually not the sneaky type. I'm usually the one that gets pied on. So. And Zoran sort of like allows them to take the step, I guess. You know?
Yes, sounds like the plan is approach slowly and with caution. Like,
Yes.
not just go walking up, but like kind of stealthily, carefully approach. Okay. I don't think you need any roll necessarily for this. I don't think there's a stealth roll equivalent right now. I do think that you're able to approach carefully, partly because this person is distracted. This person is not looking back in your direction. As you walk a little ways down this path to the left, you come to another place where the path seems to be blocked in front of you. It is blocked by just a game booth. It is a like ring toss booth where you throw the rings and you try and get them to land on things. Similar to all of the others, it is a little bit worn down, a little bit like old looking. It looks like it's not been well maintained. The difference from this one to the other ones, though, is that there is a singular prize left. There's one of those like giant stuffed animals that is still there. That's like the grand prize that you win from getting the perfect score, which is essentially impossible on any of these games. That is still like hanging up in this booth. And there's the first person you've seen who doesn't look to be an evil clown. you see a like teenage-aged femme person with really like light pale white skin, long brown dark hair. You see the back of her for now. She is wearing a like long skirt and a like tank top, and she's playing the game. Like what you hear is you hear the thudding of like the rings and the ring toss, and she's really good at it. Like she's doing a really good job, but it's always like the last one that misses, and that's where the cursing comes from. And then because there's no one working the booth, she goes and like gathers them and comes back and starts to do it again. And doesn't see you approach because she seems to be very focused on what she's doing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, the prize looks normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like like a stuffed bear or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know how she looks like? Can we see that? Like the person looks completely 100% normal?
You can't see her face right now because she does have her back to you, because this is like you're walking down the path and the booth is directly in front of you, so you can only see like the back of this person for now. If you stay and watch long enough, you do see her like climb into the booth to start gathering the rings back, and at some point you'll probably be able to see her face in that, but that doesn't mean that she will also be looking at you, because unless you want to duck back into another booth or like duck back somewhere and try to hide, you are just sort of on the path, which would be right behind her.
I turn to everyone else like, should we like help them or something? Because I mean, it seems like they're having like a tough time. Not sure if this is like a trap or something, but
when you say that, Zoran is like trying to like not basically imagine the sentence chomping at the bit. He's just like, I'm gonna go, like, but I'm gonna wait. I said I would wait, but is very excited to help, but is like just looking at everyone to. It's like a puppy waiting for someone to tell him, "Go, okay, go help," I guess, kind of thing.
Can I take a look to see if there's anything obvious like around her, as far as like, you know, a barricade or like rope on the ground, like ready to capture someone or something?
Go ahead and roll perceive. This is risky now. Assume everything is at minimum risky while you're in here. But the effect for this would just be standard.
I rolled 2 3s, so.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
Okay. Then Sloan is just gonna like give a nod to Zoran, like, if you want to go over, I don't see any reason to stop you now.
Okay, thank you. And just walks up to him and goes, "Hi, do you need help?"
Hi. She looks very confused to see you here. No, I can do it. I've got it. I can do it.
What are you doing though?
Well, I have to beat the game. There's only
What
one
game?
prize. I have to beat the ring toss. There's only one prize left, and you have to get a perfect score to get it. So I have to do perfect.
How long have you been trying to play this game?
And you see, like, that question in particular has her looking even more confused. I don't know. A long time. I don't remember exactly.
It's closing time.
No, it doesn't close. It's always open. It doesn't close.
No, it's closing time. I work here. I'm a clown.
You work?
Yeah.
You don't work here? I've never seen you before.
I'm new. It's closing time.
This place doesn't close. It's never closed.
How do you know?
Because I've been here a long time.
Then maybe it's time for you to go home. I would like to put my hand on her hand and go, it's time to go home.
But I haven't won yet. You have to do it perfect. And if you all want to go on this way, you have to beat the game. It's the only way to get it to move. It's the only way to go further. You have to get it perfect.
I don't think that's true.
What do you mean?
I don't think that's true. I don't think there's only one way to do things. You see, where I come from, everybody says that all the clowns have to be fancy and whatever. You know, you can't be a serious clown. Well, guess what? I'm a serious clown. There's no just one way of doing things.
So you think there's another way to do this?
Yes. Especially if you've been doing it for such a long time.
She seems like, again, like very just genuinely confused. I'd never thought about that there could be another way to... What do you have an idea? What's another way to do it?
Not this. We can put that thing down and walk away and look for something else.
But do you have another way that'll get me through?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
guess.
well, come with us. And I grab her hand and I just sort of like bring her to the group. What was your name again?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't want to give you a name because the name is very important. And you can think about it later. My name is Zoran. And I bring her back to everyone. Hi, everyone. She doesn't know what her name is, but I'm sure she'll find out. This is my van. And this is try to see everybody. Lulu. Try to see everybody's there because it's so small.
I'm shaking their hand. Hi, nice to meet you.
And this is Sloan.
Hi there.
She doesn't know what her name is yet, but I'm sure she'll find out.
Can I call you Ringo?
For now, I guess, sure.
Does it feel right, though?
I don't know. I don't think that's my name, but I can't remember, so I guess it's a name?
Okay, well, you tell us when you want to change it, so you can always just change your name. It's all made up.
If you find a better one, then absolutely, yeah. But in the meantime, I don't want to call you, I'll call you Ringo for now.
Okay. Where are you all going?
Out of here.
Out of here? How do you get out of here?
We're about to find out.
It's okay. I know the way.
My van knows the way.
It's okay. Come with Kiki as navigation.
Yeah. Sophia, would you like information about how to get ahead from where you are, about how to move forward on the right path based on your reading of the future? Or would you like to try to read the future again? Okay.
I would like to know the correct path.
Yeah. Based on your reading of the future that you've already done, based on your remembering, the correct path, either path will get you where you're going. The faster path is to move forward from here. But you are seeing that the way to move forward from here, that this person, she is correct, if you beat the game will move, just like how the carousel moved earlier. You're starting to put together a pattern of like obstacles in your way, and the faster way is to go through them than to go around them. You just have to figure out how to get through.
Okay, I do want to gather some information. I'm gonna roll my analyze here. I'm gonna. Dell's pointing one of the tarot cards at the game. I got a 5.
Okay.
Yay!
My question here is, what might happen if I cheat to get the high score?
You point the card at it and you learn you need to beat the game, however you define beating the game. Beating the game does not necessarily mean that you need to win correctly. As long as you think that you've beat it, you did it. It is whatever you define as being good enough that you have to get the prize from it. But as far as you can tell, if you cheat, if you just go up and place the rings on it, if you think that you win, you win.
Van
That
is gonna
sounds fun to me.
Look at Zorn and be like, "Hey, go put the rings on the high score. Just
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that."
Set them on the high score.
And I do. I go. Just put them there.
Yeah,
Congrats,
you do
Zorn,
that.
you won.
Yay! Look at us winning.
And as soon as you win, the giant stuffed bear, because that's what we're gonna say it is, just like drops down because you did it. You win. You get the prize.
And then walks to Van. Do you like stuffed bears?
Yes, I do.
This is for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They keep getting precious. It's so
Wait.
great. Yes!
There we go.
Yes!
That's exactly what it looks like.
It's a brown bear with flowers on it. And it is the flowers that is at the house at our college that sprays water sometimes.
Amazing. Incredible. I think because it's funny and technically this is a roll that has a complication on it, the complication is that the bear does have flowers and the flowers will occasionally spray you with water. That doesn't have any kind of consequences other than it's just funny. And as you do so, and what is an actual consequence to your actions? The booth itself moves. It slides aside to the side. You've made it past it. However, there are now 2 different paths, and Van, you don't remember seeing this. So you made it past this, but you do now encounter another obstacle of not being quite sure where to go because it continues to go in opposite directions from here. But you know that in theory going this way is going to be faster than any other option that you had. You do remember that this is the fastest path forward. You just now have to make another choice.
Can I ask a girl known as Ringo, do you know which path we're supposed to take after we beat the game?
Well, that depends on where you're trying to go, I guess. You said you're trying to get out?
Well, out is relative.
Okay. I mean, if you want to go out, I think the exit's that way. But again, like I said, I don't think you can leave. If you want to go, you want to go in more. Your both paths will take you deeper in. What are you specifically trying to get to? I don't really understand what's going on.
we don't know what's in the center of this place. We're just trying to get in.
Oh, I think the center is the Ferris wheel. And she like points, and that is kind of the only thing that you have consistently. Most of the things here are like tents or booths, or like there's a couple smaller rides that you can see, but there's nothing that stands out quite in the same way that like the Ferris wheel in the center does. So I mean anything will lead you into the Ferris wheel. That way is scarier, and she points to the one to the right. And just from your recollection of getting, you have to go through things, in theory, the scarier path is probably the faster one. But you can go either way. You have both options available to you.
We do need to go quickly.
Yeah.
The scarier path is going to be the fast one.
Then I guess we go down the scarier path.
Then lead the way.
Okay.
Okay, this girl who's with you still continues to look very confused. But she does start walking down the path to the right, and I'm assuming all of you follow.
Yes.
Okay. You walk down this path for a little while. It's just more neglected here. It's more worn down. It looks like no one has been here in a long time. You're not seeing any people or hearing anyone. Every now and then there's like the creak of something wooden as you walk past these mostly wooden booths. How much attention are people paying to your new acquaintance here, to Ringo? Or are you paying more attention to the surroundings or to each other?
I'm making sure that Ringo feels like okay. Just not feels okay, but it's just paying attention, really. But I also want to make sure everybody is. I don't want to lose Ringo because I grabbed Ringo, whatever her name is later, with us. So I am paying attention to her, and I'm letting the others, especially Van, and the others, to be like, tell me of any danger, and I will be keeping an eye on Ringo.
Okay, that sounds like you were sort of the dedicated person. You're like, I grabbed her, I brought her with us into this, I'm keeping an eye on her.
Yeah.
As you walk, it is a little bit hard to tell because you're looking at the back of her. She's in front of you. It's almost like you see her get like a little bit shorter as you walk down this path, just a teeny tiny bit the more you walk. But she leads you down this path to another, similar to before, obstacle in your way. Poorly designed for a carnival. And it is the classic carnival horror space of the, like, funhouse mirror room that is in front of you. But it's very clearly and very obviously the funhouse mirror room. It is a, like, red building structure, but truly most of even the outside of it is covered with mirrors. It's hard to really even see, like, any actual building or anything here. And you walk up, and she turns to look at you. Ringo turns to look at you for the first time in a minute. And you see that she looks a little bit younger than you remember. And she points forward toward all of the mirrors on what you can see visible of this building. And she says, that's the scary place.
Is anyone else concerned about Ringo right now?
Yeah, she's looking a little younger, or is her voice a little higher pitched too, or something? I don't know. It's a little weird. How much shorter did she get? Like a foot shorter, or
definitely visibly shorter. Yeah, she had been looking like teenage, like she'd been looking maybe 16, and now she looks closer to like 12. Like, she looks
Oh, God.
a good couple years younger.
God. Okay. I'm guessing we have to go to the scary place then.
Zoran just accepts. Sometimes people become younger. That's really cool.
Zoran's like, not the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Moving on.
We're in a clown.
That's a really cool
evil.
thing.
Literally, clowns are evil. That's never happened. Because of that, Zoran's weirdness has gone. I mean, the weirdest shit has already happened. People can become
less
younger.
weird from here,
The
yeah.
weirdest has already happened. Who cares?
Yeah, who like suddenly grows a second head? Yeah, clowns are evil. Like, you know, of course you'll grow another head in this land.
Anything can happen here.
Zoran can't imagine an evil clown. Just doesn't. Cannot.
Oh my
like,
God.
evil clown? No. So the fact that evil clowns exist has made Zoran go, yeah, of course you can fly. Of course you have 15 arms. Of course, evil clowns exist.
So Zoran's not feeling very concerned. Yeah, Zoran is not worried about your new friend at all, because that might as well just happen now.
Yeah.
Can Sloane take Ringo's hand if she'll allow it, and just say, "Are you feeling okay?"
I've never been back here before. She does allow you to take her hand.
And
I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
Can I empathize with her to see what she is feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll for it.
Okay, I'm actually going to push for a poison promise, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. So you can get a bonus die, and you can get a bonus die and be able to tell a little bit more about what she's feeling and possibly a little bit more about what is going on with her. And she gets to learn something about what's going on with you in return.
Got a 1 and a 2.
If your dice allow for it, which your dice do not. You can tell that she is scared. That is obvious and apparent on her face, but you can't tell what's going on here. You have no idea why she's getting younger. And because you accept the promise, she looks at you with like a quizzical look, and she wants to know what you're feeling here. So what is Sloane feeling in this moment?
Confusion, worry, and also just like internally, the bond between Letty and Flynn is a little bit stronger. Like they're like the two souls are like holding on to each other tighter because they don't want to lose themselves to whatever evil entity is here.
You don't know that Ringo is reading anything off of you. You see like a head tilt, and then a little bit like she looks more confused as she looks at you, like she doesn't quite understand what's going on or what she's seeing. But she doesn't let go of your hand. She will continue to hold it.
Okay. I say, it's okay to be scared, but we're here with you.
Okay. I've never had anyone here with me, I don't think. I mean, I think there's others here, but I don't know. They're not usually here with me.
Well, we'll make sure you stay safe.
Okay.
And I go ahead and let her hand go and see if the others are ready to head into the scary place.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
If everyone is ready,
Let's go.
you head forward together into the House of Mirrors. As you walk inside, perhaps the most disconcerting thing is that none of the mirrors on the outside of the building actually reflect any of you as you get closer. You don't see yourself, and you don't see Ringo reflected in them. The mirrors on the outside don't show anything. When you walk up and you open the door and you walk inside, you step into a just hallway full of mirrors. It is impossible to see any kind of out or any kind of exit. This place looks like it goes on for forever. And as you look into the mirrors in here, what you see is you all see not yourself, but you all see someone else in your group. And I'll let you decide who you see as an evil clown. You see the evil clown version of one of your friends looking back at you immediately in the first mirror, or friends, as it may be, looking back at you in the mirror as you enter this place.
Cool. I can't wait to see who describes Zoran as evil. That would be fun.
I think first, before we even get to what you're seeing, what is everyone's reaction to seeing one of your friends in evil clown form?
Abject horror.
Zoran's brain breaks a little bit more, because it's just like looks at it and completely rejects it. It's like, nah, that's not real.
Just
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah, shocked and slightly mortified. She's like, Lulu's just like turning in between, trying to find their friends. I'm like, oh my god, wait, is this real? Is this fake? What's happening?
We're separated though, right?
No, you are still
we're all together.
Then
yeah.
I look at my friend and I'm like, that's not you. And go, no.
Van's reaction is pretty calm. Like, has seen predictions of this already and is somewhat calm, but will like reach out and grab Zoran's hand and whoever else is like closest to Dell.
I will look for the Van, evil Van, just for memories and stuff like that, because I'm normal. Glyza's normal. And I want to see Van evil,
Yeah, I think if you want to all describe what the evil clown version of yourself looks like, you all can. Because as you continue to walk forward, if you do so, you will be able to see everyone's evil clown reflection in the mirror. So if people want to describe what your evil clown variation looks like, you don't have to, but you can.
I would like to, and it's just It from the movie It. It's everything that Zoran does not like about clown evil, the idea of an evil clown. It is just It. Like if you're from our world, whatever, right? They're like, it's with the balloon and it's that guy, and Zoran is like with Zoran's face, and Zoran is annoyed at it, but is like, man, you're not real. That's not a evil clowns, whatever. It's just he's just mumbling against it because he's annoyed at it. It's like that. Nobody will ever assume that that's me, because I'm not that. You are the opposite of me in every single way, and therefore no one will ever believe you are real because I'm around. So that's yeah.
That's Zoran. Does anyone else have an idea of what your evil clown self looks like?
I could imagine probably for Lulu, it's definitely you kind of see like somewhat of like a hidden sort of shadowy figure who suddenly who has like a weird cape, who decides to be juggling a bunch of chainsaws. And at the last moment, like a horror movie, as they are throwing it in the air, they are trying to throw it directly at whoever is in front of them.
Evil Sloane would not exist, I think. It would actually just be different versions of Letty and Flynn. separated,
Mm-hmm.
and they would look vaguely the same, but almost devoid of color. Like there's no brightness or happiness, there's no cheerfulness in their lives. So their clothes, their hair, their expressions reflect that. And they just hate each other. And they exude that hatred towards everyone else.
And then, Sophia, I believe we did have a request to see Evil Van specifically, so.
Yes, I've been thinking about it. I think Evil Van is... This is a thing I think that mostly happens in like movie and TV shows, where a person is like too suave so that you kind of immediately know that they're like a huckster of some kind. I think that is a lot of the vibes that Evil Van is giving off. Is that too suave, kind of feeling, it almost looks normal. It's just that vibe of like when you walk by this person and most people would know like you are up to something.
Yeah, okay, so Evil Van is mostly the vibes are off. There's something just kind of creepy in the way that Dell is like looking at the people, looking out from the mirror, which is interesting because that's a reflection, and it's clearly not a reflection of anything that's in this room. So as this happens, this is all again, you're all together, you all are able to walk in through the doors of this space. The door closes behind you. And as soon as you walk in here and you see in all of the mirrors around you just these various evil clown versions of each other, Ringo just runs off down the hall away from you. Just takes off, leaving.
I will immediately follow, but gives Van a look. I'm going to go save the child.
Wait, Zoran, no, we need to stick together.
But the child.
The child that we've met in the scary clown place, and
It might need help.
Maybe, but we can't help Ringo if we split up. We can't just go running off.
Then we'll go together?
Yes.
Okay. And then holds Van's hand.
I say this sounds like another hand-holding moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look
The power
at
of
the others.
friendship.
The power of friendship, holding hands. We do it.
Yeah. Friendship.
Cool.
Yep.
Right now, truly the power of not getting lost in here as well.
It's like a conga line of just hand holding.
Hand-holding clowns. Because it is, again, it's a maze, right? It is mirrors everywhere. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not, except for the fact that none of the mirrors reflect anything close to reality. As you walk, you see these various evil versions of your friends, of yourself. But the further you walk into here, the more you go, the more it starts to seem like just you. Like, it's hard to distinguish anymore which versions of you in the mirror is an actual reflection and which version is this, like, twisted, distorted version. You also see reflections of Ringo in the mirrors. Even though you don't see her anymore, even though she has run off, you do see reflections of her in the mirrors, all at different ages. You see what looks like an older version of her, you see what looks like a much, much younger version of her. And in particular, as you go deeper and deeper into this place together, the Ringos in the mirror start to talk, which is not a normal thing that mirrors should do. But you hear her voice through the mirror, just basically saying all sorts of mean things to you. Why do you think you can do this? What makes you feel like you're qualified for any of this? You're never going to find your way out of here. You're never going to find me. I'm so well hidden. What makes any of you think that you can do this anyways? You're not special. And you just start to hear that echoing from around you from all of these various mirrors in the space. And you're truly just moving through a maze, but you're moving through it together. Anything anyone would like to do or try?
I think as like they're saying mean things to us, I think like Van is gonna pull Zoran a little closer and just like whisper really nice things to Zoran.
Zoran, it's funny because seeing Zoran's evil clown, whatever, again, like, you can make me roll for this because basically Zoran is gonna resist it. Zoran is gonna be like, "You're not real." Like, I know this. Like, I've seen this before. Like, I've seen an evil version of me walking around. You're not the real Ringo. I don't know who the real Ringo is yet, but that's not you. Is basically the energy, and also Van saying nice things is giving him more energy and to do these things as well. And taking that cue from Van is also saying to Lulu and Sloan very nice things about them as well. And it's like, hey, you guys are really smart and you guys are really funny. And when you throw a pie in my face, it actually feels good. So keep tripping me up and keep throwing pies in my face. I am here to support your vision of what clownhood is like. Please. I'm your Auguste. To the other two. To everyone, really.
Sloan can I use for a role express?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. What are you trying to express?
My feelings for my friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, I want to help them, like, know that, you know, whatever we're saying in the mirrors, not true.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Let's see if my dice like me this time. I have to take the lower of the two if I don't have any points. So yes. That would be a 2.
Okay. You can say what you would like to say. It isn't going to have the effect that you're trying to have necessarily.
Okay. You know, Letty and Flynn were always together, but they've never really had friends like you guys. No one really supported their friendship. No one really stuck around, and you guys have, and that means a lot to us.
All of you hear this, and it's allowed to impact you however you want. Just because the roll was failed, you all are able to hear and internalize what Sloan says as much as you want. The failure here is that it doesn't work for the space around you. That the voice almost hearing all of these, like, nice things you're saying gets more combative with you. Gets even kind of meaner and more critical and more harsh in reaction to all of the nice things you're saying. Like, it's actively trying to combat what you're saying. You also notice, though, that some of the things that it's saying don't necessarily seem to be about any of you. It's throwing things into the mix, like talking about why did you think you could do this in the beginning in the first place? You were never all that funny, which that kind of stuff could be belonging to any one of you. But then there's some other, maybe this might feel related to you, but then there's some other things that throw in of, like, you don't even know who you are. You don't even understand. You never listen to me. You're just denying things. You're just hiding. What are you hiding from? And none of you at the moment are hiding, so that doesn't seem like it applies to any of you. But then it kind of switches back to the things that are more like, what makes you think that you could even be a clown? You're supposed to be scary. What makes you think that you could be funny? And it switches back to those kinds of things. But it does seem like, unfortunately, the nice things you're saying to each other are only making it stronger. Or at least more insistent.
Can I take out that pie that I kept in my bag?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm assuming they have very angry faces on, right?
Yeah, all of the reflections in the mirror have angry faces. Every reflection you're seeing.
So I'm gonna take a little bit of the whipped cream, and I'm gonna put smiley faces and stars all over the reflections.
I think, because it's funny, I think I might have you either try to, like, express or empathize, possibly. Feels like what might be the move here.
I'll try to do empathize a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's roll 2 and take the lowest, you said?
Yes. Right? Yeah. So it sounds like you're trying to change you're trying to influence how another person is feeling here.
Yeah.
Another person in quotes, because it's a reflection of nothing.
Yeah. Okay. How's a 3?
It also doesn't seem to work. It doesn't seem like you doing that really has any effect. With the attempt to make the reflection smile doesn't seem to change what's really truly going on.
I try speaking to it in the matter of I know how it feels to not be enough. I think a lot of us can sometimes feel like that, but sometimes you just kind of have to keep moving forward, and we're not always going to be the best at our specific talents, but I think you need to know that you're enough, no matter what.
That does seem to make it a little less intense, to kind of quiet it a little. There's a little bit of a pause, there's a little bit of a break. It seems like she's listening to you. Because again, this is what you're seeing. It's either yourselves or a older or younger version of Ringo in the mirrors. And then it picks right back up again. Like, it's a pause. Oh. It seems like something worked, like that kind of touched and got through. But then it immediately picks back up. Are you all still walking and continuing to move forward as you do this as well?
Yeah.
Okay. It is still a maze. Can someone do something to try and figure out where you're going, to try and figure out a path, to try and figure out where Ringo went? Because it could either be Perceive or Sophia, you can do your thing.
Yeah, and I think that I would like to attempt that. Hey, another 5.
Describe what you're doing. Describe what you're attempting here.
I guess so. I want to know what really happened here, as in where did Ringo go? And I'm looking at the timelines, peering at the timelines, and looking at the paths, and just trying to determine the most likely place Ringo went.
Yeah. As you're looking at the timelines, what you see is that Ringo didn't go really anywhere. That Ringo is kind of still here. That Ringo is just everywhere in this place and in this space. Because all of the different versions of her that you're seeing are all real in various senses. And the version that was with you wasn't necessarily, was real in a sense, but also not real in another. And in fact, you get the sense of her somewhere else, somewhere outside of here, is where you get the sense that she is. You get the sense that she's not in this place anymore. As you're looking at different various ways, like trying to find the path out, you don't see an exit from here. You don't see a door marked with an exit. And I think because you rolled a 5, which is technically a success with a little bit of a complication, you don't see that. You know that you don't see every reality when you do this. You know that there are others. The realities that you're seeing are just that you keep looking for a door and you don't find a door. And you don't find Ringo in here. So those are the wrong things to be looking for.
We're not looking for Ringo, and we're not looking for a door. I can't see what we're supposed to be looking for, but those are not what we're looking for.
I guess we're looking for ourselves?
Looking
Which
for
is
ourselves.
really strange because we're already here.
Do we have to confront the evil versions of ourselves in these mirrors?
Well, if I remember correctly, isn't it to just remember who we are? And I don't forget who I am. I haven't forgotten who I am. And then Zoran sort of like stands a little bit taller and starts saying his family tree. And just, I am the son of blah, and who's the son of the blah blah blah, who's the son of the blah blah blah, and then talks about, it's like, I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who you guys are. It starts doing that? I don't know.
As you do that, I don't even think I'm going to make you roll for this. You do have to notice this, but I don't think you need to roll perceive. You notice that as you start doing that, as you start especially particularly connecting to your family tree, connecting to your family history, one of the versions of you that you see in the mirror kind of like glitches a little bit and starts to fade. Starts to leave just a blank mirror.
I think it's working. I think we should tell the mirror who we are. And I just sort of like go to each one of them and go, that's not who that is. You're not evil. I'm not evil. Therefore, you can't exist. It just sort of like starts pointing out the mistakes this clown is making. We don't do that. That's not the makeup of a goose clown. Uncle George would be so embarrassed by what you're doing right now. And just go through each and every one of like all the wrong clown things that it is doing. Those shoes are too small. That's not how you paint. The red is not that color. Just sort of like remembering everything that his family has taught him about what it's like to be a real clown.
And as Zoran does that, you all start to see the images of you in the mirror fading. And again, you're not looking for a door. That doesn't mean you're not looking for an exit. You are obviously looking for an exit to try and get out of here. So what does anyone do next?
Can I start pushing on the mirrors?
Yeah.
To see if any of them budge?
As soon as you start pushing on the mirror, it's not that it budges, it's that your hand goes through it once it is empty.
I think I found our way out.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, who wants to go through the looking glass first?
I'm already halfway through, so. But Sloane will reach out her hand for one of them to take it.
I think
You do.
Lulu's gonna take it.
The clown conga line of hands through the mirror?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lulu's gonna grab Sloane's hand and then extends forward. Anyone to grab theirs.
Before Van takes Lulu's hand, Del gives Zoran a kiss on the cheek and then
Zoran is like, oh, cute. As I think Zoran will be the last one out. It goes, it's not too late, Ringo. You can come with us. If you decided to have a different name, you can also tell me. And just sort of like waits for one moment with the hand stretched out just to see. if another hand will grasp it.
At least for right now, you don't get a response.
Okay.
You all go through the mirror, one by one, holding hands. And you remember how the outside of the building is covered in mirrors that had no reflection? You step out of one of those. But once again, very similar to the carousel, you're on the other side of the building, it looks like. It looks like you've gone through the building to the other side, because you're in a space you do not recognize. You've reached where the Ferris wheel is. The Ferris wheel is running very slowly, a sort of distorted music playing. You also realize as you look up that you are under, like, the center of the storm. The storm is the strongest here. And there's no one riding this ride. The ride is going, it's moving, it's creaking and groaning, but there's not a single person on it. You do see Ringo just sitting on the ground. It's raining here, so she's just kind of sitting in the mud, crying. And this is a much younger version of her. This version of her is like 6.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not supposed to be here.
Well, then let's get you home.
I can't go home. This is home.
What?
You want a different home?
Yeah, but he won't let me go anywhere.
Who won't let you
Do you
go?
want me to kick his ass?
I don't know if you can.
You can try.
Yeah. Can't be that great of a home if you don't like it here. Honestly, I don't like this place either. Whatever this place is.
No, it's all wrong and it's all messed up and everything's out of order and it's all wrong.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You see her, like, glancing back over her shoulder as she talks. And you see behind the very noticeable Ferris wheel, it would be hard to miss, but there is a tent that is just very blended in with the environment. It is very worn, it is very shredded, and it's small. Like, it looks like more like a camping tent than like any kind of, like, circus tent. This just looks like a place where someone would be camping out. And she keeps kind of looking back over her shoulder like she is scared of whatever is there. I'll go for it.
I try to look at the direction of where Rigo is looking. It's like, what's behind you?
I said we're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to make it this far. You're supposed to stop.
Why?
Because I don't know. I've never made it this far. No one's supposed to make it this far.
How long has this carnival thing been going on for? Do you know?
Are you asking Ringo?
Yeah.
I don't know. We've only been here for, like, really little time, I think, but I think this has been going on just, like, for a really long time. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Do you know who runs it?
Yeah, he does. And she points at the tent.
I think we should go talk to him then.
He's wrong, just like everything here is wrong. It's all wrong.
That's okay, Ringo.
How about you grab our hands and we go confront him together?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. We can get out of here.
Okay. And you go over and grab her hands and you walk back towards the tent. As soon as you all start to take a few steps toward the tent flaps swing open, and out walks the first real, in-the-flesh, live evil clown that any of you have ever seen. He is a older appearing, like middle-age appearing, masculine appearing person. Again, we're not going to get into too many detailed descriptions of evil clowns here, even though we did content warn about it. But like kind of similar to how the Zoran was described earlier, and just like the very classic killer clown kind of a look. Not that any of you would be familiar, other than Van, of like what that very like classic killer clown look looks like. I think, in fact, Van, it looks very similar to the clown you remember from that memory when you were younger, when you opened the door when you shouldn't have. And in fact, I think that he has a like deformed looking, weird looking like rubber chicken with him. And you remember now how horrifying that looked when you were younger. As he opens the flaps of the tents very dramatically and stomps out. Who is it? Who is here?
Who is that? Do you know who that is, Ringo?
Yeah, this is his carnival. He's in charge.
Does he have a name?
He hasn't told me. I don't talk to him.
Okay. Zoran is gonna shout and call him out. If everyone's okay with it. I'll make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't know what clowns are.
What do you mean I don't know what clowns are?
This whole place is wrong.
Says who?
And then Zoran stands up straight and then lists his whole family like names like you. I'm technically of a family of expert on what being a clown is from Clown Planet on Clown Land and Clown College. If anyone here, it's us. So what are you doing?
So you're saying there's only one right way to be a clown?
Didn't I just list multiple different ways to be a clown?
Clowns like you are so everyone, everywhere, wants to be a clown like the way you do. We are making a new kind of clown. We're making a different way to be a clown. And soon you'll all understand that this is a better way to be a clown.
Why is it better?
It's better because you don't have people laughing at you.
I don't have anyone laughing at me. They laugh with me.
Yeah. Isn't the point to entertain?
Bullied? Are you being? Do you want a hug? What's wronged you? Have you been hanging out around wrong types of people?
I've been with there's. We are making a new movement of clowns that can be scary, and we can show everyone everywhere that they should be terrified of clowns.
But why?
Because it's better to have people be scared. Everyone just thinks that clowns are just a joke.
Yeah, on purpose.
But what if I didn't want to be a joke?
You didn't have to be a clown.
And
if you don't want to be a joke.
You see that is the first time that you see like him look a little bit surprised. Almost the way that you saw like Ringo look surprised and confused. Like, you don't have to be a clown. He's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Of course I had to be a clown.
Why did you have to be a clown?
Because everybody told me that I did. What kind of question is that? Everybody has to be a clown, right?
Yeah, but the way you're implying it, you're saying that not all clowns can be funny. They only have to be scary. But why is that the only option if that's what you're thinking? If you say that we have more options, then, well, why should you just be a clown then?
I just think you're doing this the wrong, sort of like the roundabout way. If you didn't want to be a joke, wouldn't it be easier to just change who you want to be, like focus more on where you want to be, than to take a whole institution and break it apart? It just takes a longer time. Be true to who you are. And if you don't want to be a clown, you don't have to be a clown.
If anyone who's been talking wants to roll empathize or forgive, I would say, would work. Or if there's something else, if Sophia, there's something you want to say or do.
So I had a thought. If everyone's okay with it, this is probably an empathize roll. I'd like to try to show him the different possibilities of his timeline.
Yeah.
Where he's not a clown.
You can absolutely try and do that. Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna push myself and take another.
Is this a group action then?
If everyone wants to describe something to do to help, we can absolutely make this a group action. Actually, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you all can you can't necessarily help with what Van is specifically trying to do because that is a specific power, but you can all help with the empathize by the way that you're talking and by the way that you're describing things. So I think that makes sense if you all kind of are continuing to add here to the fact that, like, yes, you don't have to be a clown, you can take another path. We can do this as a group role.
And like basically with Zoran also saying, like, I didn't think I could be a clown either, but I found a different way to be a clown. One where I don't have to change every single thing about what makes a clown a clown. You know, the evil clown. I don't even know where you got that from. Like, why would you do that? There's not really a reason for you to suddenly be evil. Anyway, but look, and then starts talking about a different clown in his family. And is like, look, I'm a serious person. I take my clown studies very, very seriously. And yet I'm a proud clown. So that's sort of like, would that be like empathize, I think?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a group action, then it's technically that Van is leading it. You're all moving towards a common goal. The way this works is the leader and everyone participating rolls the same action. Taking the best result from everyone is the overall result. However, for everyone who rolls a 1 to a 3, Van takes a stress.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I do have synchronized as one of my abilities. When I'm involved in a group action, I can count multiple sixes from different rolls as critical success.
That's amazing.
I think we might need that. Go ahead and everyone can participate because everyone's been talking. So everybody roll and we'll deal with the face Sophia's making in a second.
Forgive, if that's okay. Just because my forgive is, I actually have a 1 on that.
That works. Yeah.
The highest you said?
Yes, yeah, the highest from everybody.
I got a 6.
I got a 5.
I got a 5.
I got a 3.
Well, it's a group roll, so that only hurts you.
Well,
so you take 1 stress from your own roll, but from everyone else's.
Do I take 1 stretch for each 3 and a 1? Or just,
no,
okay.
Just for the roll that counts, basically, because you're taking the highest number.
Okay.
The highest number is a 3, so therefore you're taking a stress from that. Not too bad.
I just wanted
You're
to check.
fine. Yeah, no, good to check on. As all of you are collectively talking and doing this, you do see again, like, confusion and a little bit of softening, a little bit like he's truly never considered this. And then we see the different possibilities start to spill forward from, as I'm assuming Van holds up a card, and the different possibilities, the different timelines, the different realities, different worlds in which he is something else. Even some potentially where he's still a scary clown. but a scary clown in the way that people love going to see horror movies. That there can be good from something scary when it's not something that's forced onto everyone. Not that everyone has to be a scary clown, but perhaps there are some worlds where the concept of a scary clown can exist and still be true to what being a clown is. And he gets to see all of these different versions and all of these different visions. And I think that Van, you see this too. And I think that Van, you see a lot of different versions and variations and worlds and timelines as you start to realize that this is Ringo. That the person that you're talking to is also the person that you've encountered here throughout the space. And you see a lot of versions and variations where she looks very different than the person that's standing in front of you. And a lot of versions and variations where she's a lot truer to something that is real and that is her. And as you lower the card and as you return to the reality, you see something shift in the whole carnival space around you. Things start to reorder and reorganize themselves. Everything is still worn down. Everything is still old and still kind of in a state of disrepair. But the landscape around you is shifting and changing and settling. Because remember, this was like growing and expanding. It was growing to take over more of your home. And it stops. And it settles. And the storm that was raging stops. And everything sort of fits back into a place where maybe it has belonged for a while but hasn't been. As the space around you reorganizes yourself. And the person in front of you looks still very confused, but a lot more calm, and drops the rubber chicken that they were holding as they look at you, Van. Just, what was that? What was that? How do we get that to happen?
There was the various timelines. It was the possibilities that you could take.
So any of that could be real?
Any of that could be real. Yes.
I don't know how to do any of that.
That's okay. I didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't... I never thought I would end up in this world, or any world. It's certainly a different path, but it is an amazing path. You're capable of all of them. Where do you want to start?
I don't know. I don't think I ever thought about a different path before. And as she looks around the space of the carnival, I think I should start by cleaning this place up. Maybe it could be somewhere nicer. I haven't really looked at it in a while.
Do you want to go to clown college?
What's clown college?
I'll show you.
Do you have a pamphlet of the
I'm going to show you. Maybe you don't have to start from scratch. There's some templates you can follow.
That sounds interesting.
Would you like help cleaning this place up?
I think so. I think I probably need it. I'm not really sure where to start.
Well, Ringo, let me tell you about my great-grandfather.
And you do see that the child who was here is gone. That version of her is no longer here. As the storm fully kind of fades from the sky. And you all hear... You don't see anything, but you all hear voices in your heads. I think at this point you hear the voice of your own clown god in your head. Whatever you have done, well done. The encroaching threat has stopped. Something has clearly changed and shifted in the timeline, and our world is, at least for now, safe. But we don't know how many other evil clowns may be out there. And we don't know if they are all like the one that you encountered, mostly confused or lost. Maybe they are, and they just need people to show them the way, and you four seem to be best suited for that. We don't know when exactly, but we may need to call on you again to send you throughout the multiverse to defend the good name of clowns everywhere. Is that a task you are all up to?
I hold out my hands for a clown conga line again. I go and look at each other and go, I think we can do it because we know who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it together.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
We're gonna need a note.
I think, because it's funny, if everyone is okay with it, if no one has any last minute things they want to do, we'll move a little bit into our epilogue, which is as the camera fades out, the camera takes in the view of this entire carnival that is, again, still a little bit in a state of disrepair, but slowly rearranging, slowly looking more itself. And in fact, it pans all the way out to that sign that you walked under when you entered that was in such a state of disrepair you couldn't even read it. And the letters on it have shifted. And it now says Rosalind on it.
Aww.
It now says a name. And as you
the entire time, that's really cool.
As it pulls out even further and the camera kind of fades on that, like that is our fade to credits, I think we fade in on just a really funny moment, which is a scene of the four of you trying to hand a note to your professors that is, "Hi, I need to be excused from classes, signed the Clown Gods."
No, but this is real. This is actually real, actually.
And I think that's one end credit scene. Does anyone else have another little moment they would like to have as our show comes to its end?
Yes, because I think we have Zoran and Van have a wish to fulfill, and have a nice little moment. So if Zoran is okay with that.
It's the shawarma scene, but better. It's just Zoran and Van sort of like having another date and just smiling and eating and you know, and then like sort of like fading, like as I think it would be really nice to have that like sort of dinner together, but also like there's like in the background we have Sloan and Lulu also just sort of like, you know, they didn't have to ask us to come here, but
Yeah.
really wanted you guys there as well. Zoran has really wanted you guys there, but that's the setup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think at the end of this date, Van is gonna like walk up to Zoran and say, "Zoran, I think I see a future with you," and then we'll give Zoran a kiss.
Zoran will happily accept that kiss, and after the kiss is done, goes and looks at Vance, goes, "It's a lot different just reading about it."
I think
I know,
nobody
kiss
else
that
knew.
books.
Can we end there?
I think that's a really great line to end on. I think that was it. I think that that's the scene.
Oh.
We end on that as our second end credit scene as the screen fades to black. thank you everyone for joining me in this adventure through Clowns by Moonlight, our Girl by Moonlight one-shot in Clown World, as we have gone through the Twisted Carnival to find that it can be set right again. My name is Quinn. I use any and all pronouns. I have been your ringmaster for this circus. I'm going to have everyone go around and do outros. If folks remember the order that we did them in last time, we can do them in the same one. And go ahead and just say your own name, pronouns, tell us who you played, tell us where folks can find you, and anything else that you have coming up sometime in the future, post like July-ish, because we don't have a release date for this yet, so whatever date you're watching this is the date it got released. That's a secret to all of us at the moment.
My name is Lisa, and I played Sloan. I use they, them pronouns, and Sloan had they, them pronouns as well. And it was a pleasure playing with this group of wonderful people and clowns. I don't really have anything specific going on, but I'm sure you'll see me around with the Nerds with Dice spaces, so look out for me there.
Hi, I'm Sophia Olivia Scott. My pronouns are she, we. I was playing Van tonight, and I am the founder and chancellor of Nerds with Dice here. And the big thing that I do right now is Fields of the Dead. We are in season 2. We'll be heading towards the second half sometime after this airs. But if you want to go catch up on episodes, season 1 and the first half of season 2 are out there, and you can watch them. You can see actually several people in this room. Glaza, Lisa, and Quinn are all involved in it, and you should go check that out.
Alright, hi guys, I am Lise. I go by she, they pronouns. I go by Happy Tacos on the internet. You can just find me at I am Happy Tacos, that handle on Blue Sky and on Instagram. I was Lulu, the Enigma tonight. Let's see, what do I got going on? If it is indeed a post-July world, I would have done if you like superheroes, not necessarily super clowns, but superheroes, I would have done a little cameo for a 5th anniversary for Waypoint, which is a masked podcast, if you want to check that out. And yeah, and I'm sure it was great. As of right now, I didn't record it, but I'm sure it was great. But just go check out my socials to see wherever the heck I am going to be next.
And that's me. Hi, my name is Glaza. Sha, they, pronouns, whichever you feel like, it's fine. Really, Sha applies to all genders and very Filipino. What more can I ask for? I do a lot of things on the internet, especially in the TTRPG space. I run games, I make games, and I play in a lot of games. I am also, if this is right around the end of July, I'm headed to Gen Con. If you're at Gen Con, say hi to me. I'm gonna be there the whole weekend. So, you can find me there. Or if you can't find me in Meet Space, guess what? You can find all of the things that I do by going to connect.classicalglyza.com, or even checking out my website, Classical Adventures 4.1. It's where I'm trying to relive what it was like to have a blog back in the 2000s, except I'm almost 40 now. A warning, if you find a Classical Glyza in the wild, guess what? You found me. If you can't find me, I don't know what to tell you. Get good. Try harder. Because I'm everywhere. And that's it.
Amazing. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for playing. Like I said, my name is Quinn. I didn't give my socials. You can find me on Blue Sky at QuinnBeckham27. You can also find me very frequently over at Nerds with Dice. It is where I am the most frequent. It's probably where I will be next, as I will be in Fields of the Dead when that picks back up on an exact date of which I don't remember. It's sometime in July that we're restarting
July
that.
18th.
There we go. I'm glad you know that. I'm glad one of us knows. If this is any time in the month of June or July, it is during our Pride events here at Nerds with Dice, and we should have a link somewhere for you to go and check that out. We are raising money for both the Trans-Latin Coalition, and we're also doing some mutual aid stuff throughout this month. So you should definitely go check this out, even though there was no way to directly impact this game. You should also check out our schedule of all of the various games that we are running through the month of June and July. There are a lot of them. They all seem really, really awesome. And we already have some really fun things lined up that will be games that will be on the channel in August that I am really excited about. We have a lot of new things going on, so you should also, along with following myself and all of this wonderful cast, check out Nerds W Dice at Blue Sky and follow us there for more game updates about amazing games and fun inflatable games and things like Clown Girl by Moonlight. This was such a fun game and such a fun idea, truly, that we came up with very collaboratively in the game process, so I was really excited to get to run all of this for you and to get to take this wonderful idea that you all came up with and make it a reality. That has been our show for today, tonight, whatever time you're watching this at, but thank you for watching, and we will see you when we see you next. Bye, everyone!
Bye!